innovative products, and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark. All in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed. And you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at gotanagers.com. While you're there, check out Team Apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers. When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Give it off to Cisse, gliding to the basket. Out to 3, Jay Hayes. Good. And Eric Glenn wants to stop the music.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for Logon equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Core Cares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Since 1966, Louis Cleaning and Restoration has served the Vermillion and Southeast South Dakota area with high-quality work and even higher-quality customer service. At Vermillion's oldest cleaning and restoration company, they pride themselves on providing the best service with friendly, knowledgeable staff. They specialize in cleaning, offering extensive cleaning services with high-powered equipment at an affordable price. Check out their website for a full list of services they offer. And next time you need it clean, call Louie's Cleaning and Restoration.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan. To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Welcome back to the Vermillion
matchup here on Live Ticket TV, which features the Madison Bulldogs on homecoming night taking on your Vermillion Tanagers. Good evening, along with Charlie Preen, Joe Van Gore, I'm Heath Nimke, and welcome to Friday Night Lights as the Vermillion Tanagers look to continue their success on the road so far this season and ruin homecoming for the Madison Bulldogs. On the opposite side, the Bulldogs, team that comes in 2-1, really tried to solidify themselves as one of the teams. Tonight's matchup. One of the biggest misused terms when it comes to any sport is a must-win game. For the Madison Bulldogs, this is not a must-win situation for them tonight, as again, they come in 2-1, but on the flip side, for the Vermillion Tanagers, when you look at their season, what they have against teams they can win against, teams that they're going to have a tough time against, you would look at, for the Vermillion Tanagers, everything has maybe kind of gone the way you expected. A very tough game against the Lenox Orioles, where they lost inside the dome. An expected win against Lakota Tech in Week 2, and then welcoming in number 1 in Class 11A, the Canton Seahawks, and they lost to the Seahawks, but put up a very, very good fight in that game last Friday. But again, the script has kind of gone the way you expect it to for the Vermillion Tanagers. But when you look at the script, there's a kind of things that were unknown yet to this season, and that was these games upcoming. Tonight against Madison, and also homecoming next week against the Milbank Bulldogs. You may remember last year the Vermillion Tanagers lost against Madison, but it seems like year in and year out, wherever it falls in on the schedule, that Vermillion always really competes with the Madison Bulldogs. And then in overtime last year, they beat Milbank on the road. So again, those are two games that you say, what if we could win those? We put ourselves at 3-2 with a few games left in the season. A very tough end of the schedule, but at least gives us a fighting chance to be in the conversation for the playoffs, to be in that kind of conversation for what could potentially be, and that's where the Tanagers find themselves right now coming into this game. And I talk about what you talk with expectations so far this season for the Vermillion Tanagers. Well, the same can kind of be really said about the Madison Bulldogs, who come in at 2-1 to this season, but so much is unknown about who this team is, because the Madison schedule, they would even say it themselves, has been on the lighter side through 3 games. They had an opening victory here at the Beacon Premier Complex Brian Kern Family Stadium against Bellefouche, 41-6, but have been on the road the past 2 games, including losing against Del Rapids 30-13, but then last week out in Custer getting a 42-16 victory. So 2 games that you expect them to win against Bellefouche and Custer, 2 West River teams, they have been able to do that, the Madison Bulldogs. And the one loss that you expected them to lose against Del Rapids, they did that in maybe not super competitive against Del Rapids, hanging around for a little bit before Del Rapids pulled away. So that's just the question when it comes to this Madison team. And also when it comes to schedules with Class 11A, Madison might have one of the easier schedules in all of Class 11A. We talk about this homecoming game tonight against the Vermillion Tanagers before they're on the road against Sioux Falls Christian, but then back home here against Tri-Valley. They also play against Lennox and Canton, but wrap up their season here at home against Millbank as well. So, again, we talk about schedules. What could possibly be? You look at things, and for Madison, you would say at least 3 expected wins, maybe even 4 expected wins, depending on how you count that Tri-Valley team. That team moved up to Class 11A this year. They have been extremely competitive, but can they stay competitive throughout the rest of the season? And you can even say 5 wins when you count they should beat the Vermillion Tanagers. But with this high-powered offense that we saw from Vermillion a week ago, you never know. And again, Vermillion would say on the opposite side, this is a game they expect to win as well. Quick look ahead here to the rest of the schedule as we go back to the Vermillion Tanagers here on the road against Madison before homecoming next Friday night. And fans, don't forget, next Friday night, the game at 6 o'clock, with the pregame beginning at 5 o'clock for the Millbank Bulldogs. That because of the travel for Millbank, which sometimes doesn't always make sense, if you will, because it seems last year we went up to Millbank and still had to play at 7 o'clock. So I guess it is what it is. But otherwise, back home against Sioux Falls Christian the following Friday, then on the road at Tri-Valley, home against Dakota Valley, and on the road to West Central. That is the remaining schedule for the Vermillion Tanagers. In fact, when you look ahead, not one team with a losing record for the Vermillion Tanagers the rest of the season. So that's just a quick little taste, a quick little preview of these 2 teams, the schedules they've had so far. It didn't really talk a lot about the athletes, because that is coming up here on the pregame show, where we will break down more on the success of this newfound offense for Vermillion, and do we expect to see that coming out once again with head coach Tom O'Boyle? And plus this defense, they've looked good at times, but at opposite times the big play can happen any second, and we have seen them give up a lot of big plays so far this season. How do the Tanagers correct that? Plus, this Madison Bulldogs team is 2 quarterback system, one that can run, one that can throw, and they will use it at a different pace than we see a lot of different teams use the 2 quarterback system, how they game plan for that. Also coming up here on the pregame show, we will dive in more to the standings when it comes not only to Class 11A, but all across the state of South Dakota. There has been a shakeup when it comes to the top 5 in AA, and our expectations as we continue to get into the middle of the season. With Charlie Preen, Joe Van Gore, I'm Heath Nimke. It's time for our first commercial break. When we come back, a look at the schedule for Friday Night Lights and a breakdown of the standings in high school football in the state of South Dakota. That is on the way next.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
At the Brian Curtin Family Stadium here in Madison, South Dakota, as we get you set for Friday Night Lights between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Madison Bulldogs. You even say DAC-12 conference football action, if you will, even though that doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to the postseason. What matters is the Class 11A standings. And let's hop right into it with my broadcast partners for this evening. We'll begin on the media side of the things as a little bit of a shakeup when it comes to the standings here in Class 11A and what we are seeing so far this season. Again, in the Class 11A, a new number 1, Sioux Falls Christian, is now officially into first place after being tied last week with Canton. Canton has slid down into the number 2 spot. Lennox is number 3, Dakota Valley number 4, number 5 Del Rapids, and Tri-Valley is the only team that is still receiving votes. Joe Van Gore, what do you think of the new standings now that Sioux Falls Christian is up into the top spot, and also Sioux Falls Christian and Canton tonight get the fight for the top spot in Class 11A?
Well, it's all how the voters kind of think about what happened last week. Sioux Falls Christian had an easy win. You know, Canton had a 14-point win, but then there were factors in that game where, you know, the Tanagers, don't give up long touchdowns. I think, 3 or 4 of them last week to the Seahawks and stuff. So probably thinking, Canton's defense must not be what it's supposed to be, while Sioux Falls Christian has all 3 phases going well. Well, like I said, it's all window dressing until the playoffs begin. But that brings up the subject of number 1 and number 2, who just happened to play tonight at Bob Young Field at the University of Sioux Falls on the southeast part of Sioux Falls. Number 1, Sioux Falls Christian against number 2, Canton. That will be interesting to see how Sioux Falls Christian attacks Canton if they do it the same way Vermillion did last Friday.
And again, fans, it does not come down to what the media believes. It all comes down to the seed points. And Sioux Falls Christian is also in first place with seed points at 46. Canton is in second at 45. Tri-Valley, again, a team who's receiving votes, are actually all the way up into third place right now with 44 overall seed points. But again, a lot of season left to play. And it's just going to be interesting to see what all happens tonight, as Joe just mentioned, in Sioux Falls between Sioux Falls Christian and Canton. Joe, when it comes to Class 11A, any other big games that you're watching for this evening?
Well, a couple. Dakota Valley, Tri-Valley at Dakota Valley. Dakota Valley's 2-1. Tri-Valley having a great start to their season at 3-0. Another one, West Central and Lennox. They say Lennox and Canton. They always call it the Black and Blue Bowl when they play. But I think West Central and Lennox will be a big rival game tonight, and that will be played at Jim Utech Field in Hartford as well. The other games in 11A, Lead Deadwood plays Belle-Fourche, both looking for their first win of the season. Millbank is hosting Del Rapids. Both teams are 2-1 on the season. Hot Springs has Lakota Tech, Rapid City Christian against Chamberlain.
And as a look at Class 11A, as we send it over to Charlie Preen. Charlie, when looking at the rest of the state of South Dakota, one thing that jumps out quickly to us is on the AA side, Pierre is no longer ranked number one for the first time in a very, very long time, as they've been moved out of the number one spot. Watertown is now the new number one team in Class 11 AA. What's your surprise on that move and also the rest of the state of South Dakota?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Heath. It's hard for a team to win that much and consistently be that good and reload every year. So Pierre takes a step back, quote unquote, loses to Watertown last week, who is really good in all three phases of the game. Watched that game. I have a friend, a defensive lineman and a captain for Pierre, Eliza Bucci, who plays for Pierre, and I watched that game, and honestly, it's not like they got dominated up front that much. Watertown just played a clean game, and they knew coming in that, hey, we have some seniority here. We have guys that are coming back, and that's the big thing for Pierre this year, or excuse me, for Watertown this year, is they have guys that have played Pierre before, have played a lot of snaps, and that's the difference between number one and number two right now in Class 11A. But I still think Watertown Pierre, the only two competitive teams in Class 11A this year. But those two teams are going to find each other in the playoffs this year, Heath, and when it does happen, if it's semifinals or in the championship game, it's going to be a great game.
Joe, when you take a look at the rest of the state of South Dakota, plenty of action going on, as we know, for Friday Night Lights. What games jump out to you, and what kind of, maybe in the standings, if you will, you can take a chance at that surprises you going into this next week?
Well, just to touch on what Charlie was talking about, Pierre. Pierre will try to bounce back at Brookings tonight at the Dana J. Dykhouse Stadium, so it'll be interesting to see. Brookings is undefeated. Brookings has had some down years, so that will be certainly interested. And, well, Yankton has a home game tonight, but guess who they have? The number one team in 11 AAA, Harrisburg. In 11B, you know, really, nothing really stands out except, well, okay, I'm sorry, winner at 3-0 against Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, who's also 3-0. That's at 7 o'clock in winter. And, of course, Elk Point Jefferson will take on a winless Baltic team, so that's kind of the deal in 11B.
Let's look at the state of South Dakota when it comes to games for tonight and the standings. We'll have more throughout the rest of the evening when it comes to scores from across the state of South Dakota when these games are all happening, a majority of them kicking off, as we know, at 7 o'clock. And this part of our broadcast is brought to you by Thermal Bond Buildings. Thermal Bond Buildings manufactures builds that are built to your specifications and fully integrated to meet your needs. Their experienced technicians and licensed electricians have the ability to engineer, produce, and install whatever specialized equipment your project may require. Thermal Bond Buildings and Elk Point. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll explore both these teams a little bit more in depth, including up next the Madison Bulldogs. What makes them such an interesting team so far this season? And the quarterback that we have known over the past couple of years, Ben Brooks, is in as a starting wide receiver, but will get his chance to play quarterback throughout the night. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadow.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed, and you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at gotanagers.com. While you're there, check out Team Apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers. Tonight's broadcast here on Live Ticket TV is brought to you by CHS. They're a leading agribusiness owned by farmers, ranchers, and cooperatives. Diversified in energy, agronomy, grains, and food, CHS is committed to creating connections to empower ag across South Dakota. I'm Heath Nimke along with Charlie Preen and Joe Van Gore. We'll get to those two come up here a little bit more on our pregame show. We just got done taking a look at what's going on across the state of South Dakota and the rankings when it comes to not just Class 11A, but all of football. We'll also get you to scores, more scores throughout the rest of the night. And fans, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube right here on Vermillion Tanagers Live. Vermillion Tanagers Live has been covering Vermillion high school sports for over 3 years now, and to have a new broadcast partner, Joe Van Gore, who's going to start taking over a little bit more of the duties here when it comes to the Vermillion Tanagers as I continue to not step away from high school sports, but just continue to expand my role with the company and maybe not spend so many Friday nights with you. Not that I don't want to, because I love getting to travel all across the state of South Dakota and, of course, covering Vermillion high school sports. I've been doing this for the Vermillion Tanagers for now 7 years. It has been an absolute joy and a pleasure. And you know what? At this time, let's just continue to focus on doing that, as it's time to break down the Madison Bulldogs. It's homecoming night for the Madison Bulldogs, which means there's some bulletin board material, as Coach OB likes to say, for the Vermillion Tanagers. When you schedule a team on homecoming night, most of the time it means that you expect to beat that team. You expect to win the football game. You expect to have a fun homecoming game. And for the Vermillion Tanagers, the task is simple, easy. ruin homecoming. Now, I'm not for sure on what Madison's schedule is like, but I remember back in my days, there was always the homecoming dance that happened on Friday night, and the homecoming dance was either fun or it wasn't fun, all based on whether you won the football game or not. Vermillion, again, trying to ruin homecoming tonight for the Madison Bulldogs, a team that does come in 2-1 so far on their season. Again, if you're just tuning in to the pregame show, we talked about it a little bit earlier. The Madison Bulldogs 2-1, including victory last week against Custer, 42-16. They opened up their season with a win against Belfouche right here in Madison, 41-16. Otherwise, sandwiched in between those games is the only loss, and that was against Del Rapids, 30-13. This is just the second home game of the season for the Madison Bulldogs. Again, looking ahead to Madison, what they have coming up for their schedule. If you're a Madison fan, you're saying things do look very, very favorable after 4 games. Potentially have that chance to start 3-1, and then on the road next week to take on Sioux Falls Christian. Of course, that happens at the University of Sioux Falls Stadium, and then back home here for 2 games against Tri-Valley and also against Lennox. On the road at Canton coming up on October 18th, and then wrapping up their season on October 24th. Home against the Millbank Bulldogs. So again, looking at Madison potentially have that chance of 4, 5, even 6 wins this season and putting themselves in a very good spot when it comes to the postseason. And what makes this team so successful, if you will? What really makes them interesting? Well, when you look at this team, they're really good with 2 different quarterbacks. That is really the name of their game. Hahn and Brooks, the 2 different quarterbacks. One is more of a passing quarterback. One is more of a running quarterback. But they will both run and they will both pass, including Hahn coming into the game is 16 of 29 for 243 yards. But Brooks, the quarterback that we have really gotten to see over the past 3 years for the Madison Bulldogs, does come in 10 of 17 himself for just shy of 200 yards. Hahn does have 4 touchdown passes compared to Brooks, who has just the 1 touchdown pass. But Brooks is the quarterback, is more known as the running quarterback. In fact, he's actually the leading rusher for the Madison Bulldogs. 24 carries for him for over 190 yards, including 5 rushing touchdowns so far this season. The only other guy that leads him is the running back Peterson in rushing yards, where he's carried it for 13 yards, or excuse me, carried it the ball 13 times for 210 yards and 2 touchdowns. Otherwise, they will use a plethora of running backs, including Wilkins, the sophomore, who has carried it 17 times for 43 yards, and also Hodges, the junior, who has carried the football 20 times for 122 yards. We talked just a moment ago about Hahn in the passing game. Again, both quarterbacks can throw the football, but when Hahn is in, they're looking more to throw the football around. And this is a Madison Bulldogs team that is a lot like Vermillion, and that is they have their 1-2 kind of key guys they look to, but they can spread it around. When it comes to leading in yards, that's Schneider, the junior, who has 4 receptions for 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, half of his yards do come on 1 reception. Otherwise, when you look at a few other guys, Brooks, again, the quarterback, will also split out as kind of a receiver. He has 6 receptions for 77 yards. Yeah, Brooks can kind of do it all for the Madison Bulldogs. 6 receptions, 77 yards so far this season. Also, Peterson, another senior, is a guy they look to. He has 6 receptions for 54 yards. Otherwise, they have 9 different receivers that have caught the football for over combined 450 yards so far this season. So this offense can really spread it out. They are a very balanced team, if you will, when it comes to the run and the pass. That's a lot different from what we have seen the Vermillion Tanagers when they barely ran the football at all last week. But again, this is a very good team, and it's going to be hard to stop, but they're not a team that really has chunk plays, if you will. They have a couple big touchdowns so far this season. Otherwise, the Madison Bulldogs, a very methodical team when it comes to moving the football, and will use a lot of the clock. We did see that in their 2 victories against Belfouche and also Custer. And again, I just said it, they're not going to necessarily run away from you. When you're watching this game tonight, you should really expect a lot of good time management from both teams, and maybe not necessarily a high scoring game where we see 40s and 30s up on the board, maybe more in the lower teens to even upper 20s at the most, just because, like I said, both teams can really be methodical when it comes to using the clock and taking advantage for them. So that might be one of the key contributions to this game when looking at it, is who can control the clock a little bit better. We'll have to see what happens throughout the evening. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Olson's Pest Technicians, offering dependable pest control services for both residential and commercial properties. Their services extends throughout South Dakota and the upper Midwest. We also want to give a huge shout out to Olson's Pest Technicians, as they are not just a sponsor here of Vermillion Athletics, but they are a part of our global sponsor, which sponsors each and every school across the state of South Dakota. And speaking of fans, if you would like to sponsor the Vermillion Tanagers or be more like Olson's Pest Technicians, maybe not as much, but you would like to get advertising done today across several schools here in the state of South Dakota, well, we can set that up here with you at Live Ticket TV. Get a hold of me, Heath Nimke. Today, we can, I should say probably Monday would work a little bit better, and we can get you set up on all the different marketing campaigns that we have and show you all the different schools that are partnered with us here at Live Ticket TV. It is over 90 schools throughout the state of South Dakota that are partnered with us. Also want to give a shout out to one of our newer sponsors as well, which is Leo's Sports Bar, delivering daily happy hours beginning at 3 and always have the games on no matter what team in red is playing. If you can't make it to the Tanager games, make Leo's your home for watching all things the Vermillion Tanagers. And I know Leo's will have the game on tomorrow, as well as the South Dakota Coyotes are finally back in football action after the whooping cough canceled their game last week at Portland State. Fans, let's continue on here with the pregame show, as it's time for another timeout. But when we come back, we'll break down more of what it takes for the Vermillion Tanagers to get the win, as I sit down with head coach Tom O'Boyle to talk about last week's game against the Canton Seahawks and what he expects to see from the Madison Bulldogs. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV. When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion. Welcome back to Friday Night Lights here on the pregame show. Along with Joe Van Gore and Charlie Preen, I'm Heath Nimke. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Vermillion Boosters along with Vermillion Ford. Boosters are partnering with Vermillion Ford for the Drive for Your School event. For every test drive taken, Ford will donate $20 to the Boosters. The test drive will be happening on Wednesday, October 2nd, anytime from 7 to 6. You can pick a brand new vehicle to test drive. Now, if people are busy, please remember that even a short drive around the block counts as a $20 donation to the Vermillion High School Athletic Booster Club. Again, that is coming up on Wednesday, October October 2nd. Fans, it's time to get to our coach's interview time with head coach Tom O'Boyle of the Vermillion Tanagers. After a very, very successful Friday night when it comes to the passing game, including record set for most receptions in a football game and most receiving yards in a football game by Connor Peterson, the wide receiver, it was still unfortunately a loss against the Canton Seahawks, but Vermillion has looked good in the passing game this season, including, as I just mentioned, Connor Peterson has hauled in 21 receptions so far with over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. And also Landon Cerny, the senior, has been extremely big in the receiving game with 12 receptions of his own for 244 yards. All in thanks part to Hayden Christofferson, who is 48 of 80 or 60% in the passing game with over 700 yards along with 6 touchdown passes. So it's been impressive what this offense has been able to do. And again, we saw the football team throw for over 45 times last week against the Canton Seahawks. And I asked Tom O'Boyle, are we going to continue to see that type of passing game? Plus, we have seen the Vermillion Tanagers in their 2 home games so far this season give up 5 plays of 50 yards or more for touchdowns. How does the defense start to eliminate the big plays and give their offense more of a fighting chance? And how do they make sure they finish off the first half and move into the second half, kind of still controlling the game and not letting things get out of hand like we have seen so far against Lennox and Canton? Here to answer those questions and break down this game more against the Madison Bulldogs, it's time for our coach's conversation with head coach of the Vermillion Tanagers, Tom O'Boyle. Coach OB, you get ready for the Madison Bulldogs and a big matchup coming up against the Bulldogs as your team enters in 1-2. We'll talk more about the record and this type of matchup. But let's go back to last Friday against the Canton Seahawks. We heard a lot of different comments. I know you and I both kind of heard those same comments. People were impressed within town. It was the moral victory, and you like it as a coach, but at the same time you look up and it's still a loss on the board. You're now 1-2. But let's go back to that performance, not just from your wide receivers, from your quarterback, but as a whole entire team, the offensive line, defensive side. Very impressive performance. How did you feel your final takeaways from that game against the Canton Seahawks?
Well, one, the end result is we allowed 45 points to get put up on the board. So plenty of opportunities there to shore some things up and make sure guys are lining up correctly. We kept striking back. We kept doing things till the final bell. That makes you feel fantastic as a coach, and that's the type of young men we have. But all in all, we put ourselves in too big of a hole starting out. You're down 31-6 at half, and you against the number 1 ranked team in the state. And there's a couple ways you can go. And, we were really pleased with how the offensive line played all night. They kept our pocket clean, and for the most part, we were able to get the ball out and off, and our kids made great decisions on routes, and Hayden super accurate and did a heck of a job as just running on a high-octane offense, if you will. But, you have to if you're going to run an offense like that, your defense is going to be on the field an awful lot. They've got to be able to find ways to get some stops and get off the field. So we dropped a couple balls that might have changed the scoreboard there and put us in a better position in the first half. But, all in all, thrilled with effort. Never say die in this Tanager group. But now, by virtue of the loss, you're 1-2, and you've got to get to 500 if you have aspirations of postseason play. And so playing a really good Madison team, there's a reason they pick us for homecoming, so that's kind of bulletin board material for us. But going to play in a brand new stadium there at Dakota State, which is, we're just hearing super things about. So we're excited about going there, taking on the Bulldogs, and feel like we're going to stay with, what worked last week for us offensively. Certainly made some adjustments. We get 3 of our starters back that we haven't had since the second week of the game or second week of the season. So it's nice to have Elijah and Caleb Lara back, and we'll be getting Bryce Boss back, and those guys certainly help us on both sides of football, but really help us defensively. And they're all skill guys, so it also helps you in the sense that you're able to get some kids off the field for a couple snaps and rest them, like Connor and Landon, and get some guys some breathing room on the sideline and get them back out there.
We saw a couple different passing records be put up into the books for this football team on Friday night against the Canton Seahawks. I know you and I kind of talked after the game about just how many times Hayden Christopherson threw the football, designed 2 run plays throughout that entire game against Canton. Coach OB, are we going to see that same type of offense going into this game against Madison?
The funny thing is, there was really only one design run, and that was the dumbest call of the year on Coach O'Boyle's behalf. We're not mentioning the word spelled R-U-N, and we're working on routes. We're working on combination routes, and things like grab routes, which means to the layman out there, it's a route designed to take somebody's eyes or take a coverage guy with you, and then you throw something behind it in a vacuum or in a hole. So, yeah, we're going to damn the torpedoes, and the Houston Gunslingers are back, and we're coming out firing.
I love to hear it, and I think a lot of people love seeing what you're able to do against the Canton Seahawks. Now, as you kind of mentioned here, the Madison Bulldogs, it is homecoming. First off, how hard has it been able to scout them? They come in 2-1. They do have a loss against Del Rapids, 30-13. Otherwise, they beat Belle Fourche and they beat Custer, 2 West River teams, as we both know, Coach, and taking nothing away from those teams, you expect to win them. So what can you tell us about the Madison Bulldogs, and what should we expect to see from them on Friday night?
Madison's a good football team. They do a nice job up front. They have decent size. Their defensive front is one of their strengths. They'll rush 4. They're not a big blitz team, but although with our new scheme, I'm sure we're going to start seeing some more heat and some more packages of that nature. But, Madison is a very multiple team on offense. They have a lot of skilled guys back, a veteran quarterback who alternates between QB and receiver. So, they make you think. They're going to come out in trips, and they're going to come out in doubles, and they're going to come out with a tight end 2-back. And they're kind of find what is working that night and kind of stay with it type team. So, in their 2 wins, they've certainly outclassed a couple opponents out west, and they've proven capable of scoring a lot of points. So, that gets your attention. It's about us, and the old cliche, we talked about it last week. We have to shore some things up with what we do. We understand that Madison's going to be a pretty multiple team. Well, that's what our kids see every day. So it makes us feel pretty good at practice, knowing that our kids see multiple formations and have to line up and cover and do those type of things on a regular basis. So a little more sense of normalcy than it is getting ready for a Canton, the double tight, double wing, counter offense, if you will, that Rich runs. So we just find it peculiar that they circled Vermillion, and that tells you something. So, I hope that gets our guys' attention and adds a little fuel to the fire.
I certainly would agree with that. But when it comes to scheduling a team against on homecoming, I should say, it's one of those games that you say, yeah, well, we'll put on homecoming because we're supposed to easily win that game, and it shouldn't be that much of a worry, and we can have a party afterwards. But, Coach, that also being said, we have seen 5 different touchdowns from 2 different opponents of 50 yards or more against your defense. How do you eliminate the big play against not only Madison, but also going forward through the rest of this season?
I think 3 of those plays probably were this past Friday night against Canton. But it's just lining, it's communicating, and it's a young season, I know, and we have a lot of young guys playing. But it's communication at the line of scrimmage, making sure guys are in the right gaps or in the right rush lanes, if you will. and tackling. I think that when you're suddenly a big play offense, you seem to be give up big play defense, and I don't know if you've got guys resting that side of the football. We certainly have a number of kids going two ways, but it's a concern. We talk about it. The lack of turnovers is also a concern that we're talking about. We're not generating extra possessions, and there's a lot of things that go into giving up big plays, and it's just making sure 11 guys are all doing the right thing at the right time, and they're on task. You got to get there with your pads first, and we're a little grabby, we're a little arm first, and all things that are being addressed on the practice field.
I hate using the term a must-win football game because it gets thrown out too much. But looking at what's coming up yet on the schedule, and if you were to lay out the schedule at the beginning of the season, and people do that, they look at games, they say, all right, what games can we win? What games are we going to lose? What games are a big possibility? Madison is circled as that big possibility. You mentioned already here in this pregame show that you would like to get back to 500. That's a realistic look at getting into the postseason. Well, that's a really good opportunity here against this Madison Bulldogs. So again, we're not going to use the term must win, but how much urgency is being put on the team to win a game like this on the road, and especially ruin the homecoming of the Madison Bulldogs?
Well, you've got to be a 500 team if you're realistically talking to your kids and being up front with them at practice, and we discussed that Monday. This is a great opportunity for us. If you do feel good about your 4-quarter performance against Canton, and we want you to feel good. We want you to gain confidence for doing some nice things against the state's number 1 ranked team. But we have to build on that, and we have to be better this Friday night. So it's a one game doesn't a season make, but if you're going to be realistic, 2-2 is a legit shot and keeps you in the conversation in 11A football, where 1-3 is certainly an uphill battle that you don't you start feeling the stress of that record. So we feel like every day is a must-win day for us because we're so young and because we have to build on confidence and build on young guys learning techniques and take with you to the next varsity football game. So kind of the same attitude that we take at practice, we have to take into Friday night. But the difference is there's a report card at the end of the field on Friday nights, and we want to come out ahead in that, baby. We'd like an A or a B.
There he is, fans, here on the pregame show. It's head coach of the Vermillion Tanagers, Tom O'Boyle. And Coach OB just mentioned something that we can all relate to in life. He talks about the report card on the football field, or you can even relate it to the score at the end of the night. And we measure our lives based on success. We measure our lives on the tasks that we have to do in a day. We lay our heads down at the end of the night. We look back at the end of our day and ask, do we accomplish what we wanted to? We look back at our own report card and see if the day was unsuccessful, if it was successful, and how we can always do better. And just right there, Coach OB explains it more. The report card is simple. You look back at last week and you have to give yourself probably a C. A lot of things went right for the Vermillion Tanagers against the Canton Seahawks, but the final end to it, the score is what matters, is what we base our record off, what we base on how we get to the playoffs, and Vermillion lost against the Canton Seahawks. That report card tonight, it needs to change. Again, we hate using the term a must-win game for the Vermillion Tanagers, but as Coach OB said, a B on the report card can even mean that you win sloppy. An A would mean you outright win and you dominate. And that's the question tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers. Can they get the report card to change over to that A, to that B, and come up with a homecoming ruiner for the Madison Bulldogs here on Friday Night Lights? I'm Heath Nimke with the pregame show. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll get some final breakdowns from the two-time Sports Broadcaster of the Year, Joe Van Gore, and also get our thoughts with Charlie Preen. That is on the way next here on Friday Night Lights with Live Ticket TV.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Give it off to Cisse, gliding to the basket. Out to 3, Jay Hayes. Good. And Eric Glenn wants to stop the music.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Back in Madison, South Dakota, as we get you set for kickoff between the Madison Bulldogs and the Vermillion Tanagers here on Live Ticket TV. Great to have you along on this Friday evening. We've been breaking down this game. We just got done talking more about the Madison Bulldogs and hearing from Coach Tom O'Boyle. Let's get over to my broadcast partners for this evening and get a little bit more take from them and what they expect in this matchup. Go over to Joe Van Gore. Joe, you just got done hearing Coach Tom O'Boyle talk about a great performance from his team a week ago against the Canton Seahawks. But what you saw from last week and now carrying over into this week, we heard Coach Tom O'Boyle say they're not going to abandon the passing game that was so successful against the Canton Seahawks. What do you think about that decision, and would you like to see a little bit more of a balance of a run game tonight from the Vermillion Tanagers?
Well, I was talking with Coach O'Boyle down on the field before the game, and he said, yeah, one planned running game, as he admitted, it was probably not a great call on his part. But no, I think the word tonight for the Tanagers is confidence. They have confidence in the passing game. It's what Madison's defense will give, what kind of looks that will give Hayden Christofferson. He's got to have time because you know that Madison's going to be coming after Hayden all night long. It's going to be a matter of if he can make his reads, and it's just like last week against Canton. If he can make his reads quick, then the passing game will be successful. And of course, when you're looking downfield, for the big chunk plays and everything, don't know if he'll have any time for that. But I would expect a series of short passes to keep the defense honest.
On the opposite side, the defensive side, we look at 2 games inside the Dome. And both times going into halftime, we said, hey, we have ourselves a chance. And all of a sudden, it seemed like a flip of a switch, and everything that could go wrong, everything that could get worse about it, did. What do the Vermillion Tanagers need to do defensively to make sure they stay in this game tonight against a high-powered offense that can really throw a lot of different looks at you from Madison?
I think the key term for that, Heath, is keep things in front of you. Don't let your receivers, and they've got a lot of them, a lot of good ones for Madison, don't let them get behind you defensively. Stay with them as much as you can. This might be a long game tonight if both teams are passing, depending on if they complete passes or not. If there's some incompletions and stuff, this game's going to take a while to complete. But like we said, for the Tanager offense, confidence in the passing game. Defensively, keep things in front of you. Don't give up the big chunk play again.
One other thing we saw in that game offensively, 2 different records were set there by Connor Peterson, including most receptions in a football game with 15, and he also hauled in 240 receiving yards.
Wow.
Joe, you go back to last Friday, some of those catches were pretty impressive. How much do you want to see Hayden? He did a good job of spreading it out last week, but how much do you want to continue to see him spread the football around?
Well, you got to go with your hot receiver, and obviously last week he had one for over 200 yards receiving. But I think, spreading it out, giving the defense a different look just about every time will certainly help. And, of course, when you talk about all those passing yards and all those receiving yards, it harkens back to when I started covering the Tanagers back in 1993, where Coach Culver would pass once on homecoming, maybe twice on Parents' Night. So this is a little bit different for me from over 30 years ago.
I did make that joke as well. I said, Coach Culver, what is the history? Did some records be set? We know we don't have to look too far because your offense didn't do a lot of passing. He
That's
did good chuckle out of that one. Again, Hayden Christopherson coming into this game, 48 of 80 in the passing game for over 700 yards, including 6 touchdowns. The leading wide receiver for this team is Connor Peterson with 21 receptions and over 300 yards receiving, along with 4 touchdowns that he has hauled in. The other key wide receiver that Hayden Christopherson looks to is the senior. That is Landon Cerny, who's had 12 receptions for 244 yards. Again, we talk about the passing game that has been impressive for the Vermillion Tanagers. On the opposite side, the rushing attack has compiled just a total of 201 yards. The leading rusher for this for the Vermillion Tanagers is actually Duke Job, who's got 9 carries for 60 yards. Otherwise, nobody has more than that, including we saw Chapman have himself a very big first half against Lennox. He has been plagued with injuries since then, and of course is looking at more injuries yet throughout the latter portion of the season and is unavailable for tonight. But again, Coach Tom O'Boyle does want to get a little bit more back to his rushing attack if he can. It is homecoming night. Let's bring in the final broadcast partner, Charlie Preen. Charlie, you know all about high school football, and when it comes to homecoming for the Vermillion Tanagers, you got to try to kill this magic of homecoming tonight for the Madison Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely, Heath. I played on a lot of teams where we spoiled a lot of homecoming games, and the thought going into that is, yes, you want to spoil that game. You want to be that person that steps on their fun. Well, Vermillion tries to do that tonight, and they have a little bit of an advantage here because Madison had the parade today, I'm sure, had the festivities throughout the week, the dress-up days. There's a lot of hoopla besides the actual football game. Maybe practice and football this week, not necessarily the first thought for the Madison Bulldogs. So Vermillion definitely coming into this game with a lot more confidence than I think most people think. So as a player recently, I know that it's hard to compete during homecoming week, especially with a team whose maybe their heads aren't right where they need to be. So the Vermillion Tanagers have a tall task today, but maybe a little easier because homecoming 2024 for the Madison Bulldogs.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Dakota PC Warehouse. They specialize in sales of quality products that fit each individual or company's needs. They have a full-service team service department to efficiently repair and service your desktop, laptop, tablet, and phones. They also provide TV repair. Tonight's broadcast is also brought to you by Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment. They offer customers the highest quality ready-mix concrete products in aggregate, along with the service that is expected. They can customize mixed designs to fit your company needs. A quick side note as well, as we approach the 7 o'clock kickoff, where we are sitting at tonight, we are looking directly at the sun here at Brian Kern Family Stadium. Sunset is set for just after 7:30 this evening, so we'll battle the sun for just a little bit. But Joe, you can't really complain. It's a beautiful night here in Madison, South Dakota.
Well, when we started the broadcast, Heath, sunny, 82, a nice south breeze, of course, on a north-south field, and gotta say, what an impressive facility that Dakota State has put up. I was told by Coach O'Boyle that last year the Tanagers played just north on a, now what is a practice field, and used for soccer and used for track, but Dakota State did it upright. A very, very impressive facility, just like the Tanagers getting to play in the Dakota Dome, Madison gets to play in a brand new stadium on turf.
It certainly is beautiful here at the Brian Kern Family Stadium. Again, this was under construction last year. You may remember last year when the football team was here. It was also a rainy evening that made it tough for football, but again, beautiful night for high school. Friday Night Lights. Again, Joe, one last time before we get to our final timeout. Not a must-win game for either team, but certainly one that can really help propel the rest of your season when looking at this matchup tonight.
Well, you're looking at the halfway point of the season tonight. Well, game number 4, all right, between 4 and 5. That's half the regular season right there. And you talked about report cards and stuff. It's just how hard you want to play and how hard you want to play for Coach O'Boyle, Coach Culver, and Coach Budmeyer and the others as well. And now, you talked about the trappings of homecoming. Well, the shoe is on the other foot for the Tanagers next week with T Week, and it's interesting to note that the many years that I covered Tanager football with Coach Culver, he was always a little leery about homecoming, and that's where it came. The term homecoming is for civilians. He got that from his high school coach at Sioux City East in Sioux City, Iowa, Walt Fiegel. Enjoy homecoming, but you have a football game on Friday night. And I remember a story about, I won't be here next week, so I can't tell the story. I might as well tell the story right now. Monday, guys are warming up, and Coach Culver is grabbing face masks. Says, homecoming's for civilians. You got a football game to play. And you know what? Tanagers were ready to play by Friday night. I guarantee you that.
Well, they're certainly ready to play tonight to take on the Madison Bulldogs and, again, try to ruin homecoming for Madison. Madison comes in 2-1 overall when it comes to the overall standings. Madison is in at 9th at 2-1, but again, 39.33 seed points. Vermillion overall in 10th at 1-2 at 38.66 seed points. The ultimate goal is to be inside the top 8 when the postseason rolls around. That means you make the playoffs. If you find yourself outside of that category, then you miss out on the playoffs. We have seen Vermillion the past 2 years fall just outside of that category. Who can win on homecoming night here in Madison, South Dakota? Can the Bulldogs continue their celebrations into the Friday evening, or do the Vermillion Tanagers play spoiler? We're going to step aside. When we come back, it's time for kickoff between Madison and Vermillion. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Midwest Ready Mix Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for low-gun equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Core Cares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Since 1966, Louis Cleaning and Restoration has served the Vermillion and Southeast South Dakota area with high-quality work and even higher-quality customer service. At Vermillion's oldest cleaning and restoration company, they pride themselves on providing the best service with friendly, knowledgeable staff. They specialize in cleaning, offering extensive cleaning services with high-powered equipment at an affordable price. Check out their website for a full list of services they offer. And next time you need it clean, call Louis Cleaning and Restoration.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites?
Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
At Brian Kern Family Stadium, it's time for kickoff between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Madison Bulldogs for Friday Night Lights. Along with Joe Van Gore, Charlie Preen, I'm Heath Nimke. Here we go as Joe Van Gore has his eyes on the coin toss. Tanagers will be in their all-white uniforms for this evening with numbers and letters that are in red. The Madison Bulldogs in their maroon uniforms. The numbers that are in white with their white pants for tonight. Joe, what do we have for the coin toss? Who's going to get the football first, and what should we expect in this opening possession for both teams?
Okay, there you go. We have a mic'd referee tonight, and the homecoming king here at Madison got to flip the coin. It is a member of the band here at Madison High School, but Tanagers will receive, move right to left as you're seeing it here on Live Ticket TV in the first quarter. Madison kicking off, moving left to right as you're seeing it on Live Ticket TV.
Get off to a good offensive start, get the ball moving. Again, we're expecting a lot of passing, but you want to see this possession take some time and, again, have success moving the football down the field.
Well, you would think at the fourth game of the season, those little things like 5-yard penalties and everything like that, you would hope your timing is, would be down and everything like that. But I would not expect Madison to kick this deep or to kick it on the field. I'd be interested to see how that works.
The Madison Bulldogs have it teed up, and we are set and ready for football as we're not going to have to deal with the sun here at Brian Kern Family Stadium as it has just dipped below the brand new facility as we see it here at Dakota State University. Again, a beautiful facility that has been recently renovated.
And Tyler Troxel, an 8th grader, is the kicker for Madison.
Has his hand put up in the air, standing at the 29-yard line, ready to put a boot into it at the 40 as he kicks this one, and we are underway for Friday Night Lights here on Live Ticket TV as it's going to be returned from the 17-yard line. Trying to find some space along the far sideline is for the Vermillion Tanagers, Chapman, who is available. Again, he was questionable coming into this game, dealing with that calf injury. We'll see if he gets some touches tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, Vermillion in the all-white uniforms, numbers and letters that are in red. As we saw Hayden Christofferson throw for over 390 yards a week ago inside the Dakota Dome. Can that offense carry into this game tonight against the Madison Bulldogs? As two wide receivers are set to either side, Christofferson is alone in shotgun formation, standing at the 25-yard line. He's back to pass, looks to the nearest side, and he's going to find Connor Peterson open, and Peterson, after 15 receptions a week ago, is able to make a nice completion for 8 yards. Give him 9, make it 2nd down and 1.
Hayden Christofferson making a good read that time, Charlie, and there was some traffic around the receiver, but a great catch and a great way to start on a 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 2.
So 2nd and 2 yards.
A great play there. Tunnel screen kind of had some rub action there, but nearly first down yardage on the first play.
Hayden Christopherson with deuces wild to either side once again. Takes the knee-high snap, is going to look over to the near sideline, and it would have been considered out of bounds anyways, as it looked like Connor Peterson went out of bounds by himself and never established himself back in bounds. Incomplete nonetheless.
Well, Cale Johnson had the coverage that time. You could probably make a case that, he was maybe forced out of bounds, but the referee threw the hat down. That means, even if he made the catch, it would have been an illegal catch.
So now on 3rd down and 2, a week ago for the Vermillion Tanagers, it was an obvious passing situation. And again, with running back Chapman, who is available, but he splits off to the near side, which means either a quarterback draw or, again, continuing to see the passing game on 3rd down and 2. Christopherson claps his hands together. It's going to be a quick pass, but it's going to be too low for Nolan Nygren, falling incomplete. And he'll bring up 4th down and 2. And it looks like it'll be a 3 and out for the Vermillion Tanagers offense. Head coach Tom O'Boyle does have Hayden Christopherson right next to him on the sidelines. Now again, Hayden Christopherson would also punt as well. But at the moment, it looks like Coach Tom O'Boyle is going to keep his offense out there. We see this quite often in college and NFL games now. Try to get the defense to jump off sides on the hard count. We'll see if the Vermillion Tanagers try to take advantage of it. Hayden Christopherson standing at the 38-yard line. Bulldogs potentially showing blitz. It'll be the quick pass, and it'll be dropped by Nolan Nygren, who had it in his mitts, but could not haul it in completely at the 45. 3 straight incompletions, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Wow. Made that mistake. Looked upfield or heard footsteps. Had it right there. That would have been a 1st down easy.
So, Joe, something introduced new to football across all levels, Guardian caps. We see the Madison Bulldogs bring out 2 offensive players wearing the Guardian caps. We'll get your take on those here in just a moment, as we'll be seeing Hahn in pistol formation with Hodges, the running back behind him, as they put a 2nd man in motion. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper right up the middle, as it's going to be a pickup of maybe a yard or so and bring up 2nd down 9. What do you think of the Guardian caps out there for a couple of high school players?
Well, one of them is the center, and one of them is a receiver, number 16, Miles Schneider. I think it's a good idea. I mean, you're always talking about safety these days at all levels of football. And I had a nephew that played for Yankton High School and didn't really complete seasons because of concussions.
3 wide receivers off to the far side, but they're going to hand it off underneath to Hodges, and Hodges tries to find some space on the near side, and he picks up about 2 yards, maybe 3 at the most, and he'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Madison Bulldogs.
Well, that's where the Vermillion defense really has to shine, just like last week against Canton. Force them into a 3rd and long, force them into a passing situation, and I have a pretty good feeling Madison's going to pass on this down.
10:02 remaining in the first quarter. Again, the Vermillion Tanagers, if you will, went 4 and out as they went for it on 4th down, but did not pick up the 1st down. 3 wide receivers off to the far side once again. It'll be Hahn on the quick pass to the outside and trying to find some space and going to get free up across the 20. There is a penalty flag, and eventually ushered out of bounds is Jordan Peterson, but let's see what the penalty flag is as it's back at the 30, and it looks like it's going to be holding against the Bulldogs.
And that will depend on the spot, whether it's going to be, 1st down or 4th down.
It would bring up 3rd down and potentially right around the same spot.
Well, if the flag was thrown late over on the far side of the field, I think, they're going to take this from the line of scrimmage. Maybe a couple yards beyond, yeah.
So we're waiting again. This official does have is mic'd up as well, so we can kind of hear what he has to say.
Wow.
Line side block over here. Well, assess the yardage, still be 3rd down.
You can tell he certainly has never been aware to a mic'd up team over there. Point to the Madison Bulldogs and assess the yardage. Again, that's something new to high school level. You could just say, well, I've never been mic'd up before.
Well,
but again, the penalty against the Madison Bulldogs, I can never say heard up over there.
Well, now this is an obvious passing down.
We might have to submit that to ESPN. That's awesome.
It's a loss of 13 yards on the penalty. It went from 3rd and 6 now to 3rd and 19. The ball is placed at the 47-yard line, and it will be 2 wide receivers over to the near side. 1 wide receiver standing at the 50, opposite side with the tight end on the left. Hahn is in shotgun formation as he's back to pass. Fakes the screen, will now just go right underneath the middle. And beautiful, the Tanagers defensively are right there. Nice job at the beginning there by Dane Richardson to get it blocked up.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's trying to tackle a guy who's 6'7" and 210 pounds. That's maybe a little bit more difficult than people would think. But Tanagers, even though they gave up the ball in Madison territory, or in their own territory, forces a punt.
They're going to come out lucky on this side, and the penalty on the blindside block really helps out on 4th down and 18 after just a gain of a yard. Vermillion comes after the punt, gets close. Connor Peterson is going to return it from the 15 and just go simply out of bounds along the far side. Out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. Joe, we just saw him go 4 and out, if you will. You would like to see them. They had some passes there. Just got to hold on to it if you're the wide receivers now.
Yeah, well, and also you don't have to go for it all on every. I think if you just nickel and dime, that will open up a long pass, hopefully later. And about, a 22-yard punt, all with the punt and the return. Tanagers with good field position for their second drive.
Update on the Big Ten game tonight, Illinois versus Nebraska. Illinois scores on their first drive in a huge big play touchdown.
We'll keep you up to date on scores from that game and across the state of South Dakota as well. Hayden Christopherson's going to try to take off, and he is going to get sacked in the backfield, a loss of 5 yards, and bring up 2nd down and 15.
Yep, it's number 69, Israel Overson, who is one of 3 players, Heath, that goes both ways for Madison. Madison coming in, 9 players back on offense, 7 back on defense, and they only have 3 that go both ways. As far as the starters you got from Coach Bundy.
Did not get a chance to catch up with Coach Bundy. I guess I should say he never does do an interview. The reason is because if he did one interview, he would have to do 4 different interviews, as that's the different media outlets here this evening. So just simply passes along the information. We appreciate his work each and every year. That helps us out in the broadcast. A pass that was behind the intended target of Cerny, and there is going to be a penalty flag that will be against the Bulldogs, and it will be called against number 2, Cale Johnson. It looks like a face mask as he pulled the face mask of Cerny there.
Yeah, it didn't look like that felt good.
So let's see if the official gets it right this time and calls it against the Bulldogs, or if he says that team or that side again.
Pass interference.
Oh, pass interference. Okay.
Number 2, at 15 yards.
And also, Heath, at a brand new field, there are play clocks, and they are using them tonight.
2 penalties already against the Madison Bulldogs for accumulation of 28 yards against them. They have been a hindrance on their first offensive possession, and now giving Vermillion their first official first down of the football game, courtesy of the banana peel, and it'll move the football all the way up to the 34-yard line, where the Tanagers will take over 1st down and 10. 3 wide receivers to the near side with Hayden Christopherson in shotgun formation standing at the 29. Claps his hands together, back to pass. He looked at Thomas. Now he's going to step up, keeping his eyes downfield, and then flips it to Thomas. And again, Joe, they're just looking upfield and not pulling the ball in.
You got to look it in. And if you get hit from behind, you get hit from behind, but at least you have the ball.
Thomas was ready to run upfield. It would have been right around the 1st down marker where he was going to catch the football, but for the second time, we have seen a football go in and out of the hands of the Vermillion Tanager wide receivers. So now 2nd down and 10. Again, the ball on the 34-yard line. 8-11 remaining in this first quarter. Been a slow-moving first quarter so far with all the incompletions that we have seen. And now, before we get this play off,
well, can't be delay a game.
It's going to be a false start, it looks like. First penalty against Vermillion tonight.
Yeah.
So bring up 2nd down and 15, move the football back to the 29-yard line.
Number 33 on the offense. 5 yards, still second
No.
down.
No.
Not encroachment. I would say either false start or illegal procedure, but everybody says false start now, but that was not encroachment. Encroachment's on the defense.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure I've ever heard encroachment on the defense.
The official's giving the right signals. It's just this microphone, I think, might have him a little nervous. 2 wide receivers split to either side. Shotgun formation for Hayden Christopherson as he is back to pass. He looks over the near side, and it's going to be back behind Peterson, and it will fall incomplete. So we have now seen 5 straight incompletions for the Vermillion Tanagers, and he'll bring up 3rd down and 15.
I think that ball might have been tipped just a bit. That affected the flight. But otherwise, it was a good out pattern, but just didn't get there.
Again, the Tanagers completed the first pass to Connor Peterson for 8 yards. Otherwise, they're now 1 of 6 in the passing game since that first completion. On 3rd down and 15, in this area last drive, we saw Vermillion go for it, but that was in a 4th down and 2 situation. 3 wide receivers lined up on the near side. Chapman alone at the numbers on the far side. Back to pass is Hayden Christopherson. No, he's going to be an automatic quarterback draw trying to pick up something and runs into his own player that time of Raleigh French. He's going to pick up maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Certainly not enough, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 10.
Well, no question about this. Got to punt it away, but clock is running. 7:44 left to go in the first quarter. No score in this 11A matchup. I imagine they don't really worry about being a Dakota 12 conference game because you don't play everybody. And haven't for years.
Cannot say a Dakota. I mean, we can say Dakota 12 matchup, but
then again, you can't.
Matters for nothing when it comes to the football side of things. Back to punt it away is Hayden Christopherson. Has plenty of time as it's going to be called for a fair catch at the 39-yard line of Ben Brooks. That is where the Madison Bulldogs will take over 1st down and 10.
Well, first time they'll start on their end of the field, Charlie, but 25-yard punt. That, the field position, with a little breeze here, that'll probably go down as the sun finally goes down. Boy, what a night for football.
Yeah, great night for football here in Madison, and both of these teams playing a little cat and mouse game. Vermillion's had a lot of little stuff, just hasn't been able to convert, at least catching the ball, and Madison, on the other hand, just can't get things moving. We'll see how this drive goes starting on the 40-yard line.
Hahn puts 1 in motion as it's going to be a handoff, though, to Hodges, who goes right up the middle, and Hodges up the 43-yard line to pick up 3 yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Well, you used the run to set up the pass. We'll see.
They have put in motion a couple different times Jordan Peterson to help as more of a fullback lead blocker, but he's also been a little bit of a distraction player as well.
Well, we do have team stats on the scoreboard. Now Madison is up to 0 yards rushing after they were minus on their first possession.
Vermillion is up to 0 yards.
I'm sorry.
Wrong side.
7.
Don't worry, I keep the stats here in this little nifty binder here. They hand off to Hodges as well. He's going to pick up another 2 yards. Overall, 9 yards in the rushing game. Check that, Joe. Is it correct? Oh, they got to still update it, don't they?
They got to add 2.
Bring up 3rd down and 5.
By God, you're right.
My Manson simple math. It's when they start picking up double-digit numbers, things get a little jumbled up in my head up there.
Yeah, I only took 3 years of math at Yankton High School anyway.
I only took 1, and then I kind of skipped class after that. Back to pass is Hahn. He looks towards the far sideline and will fall incomplete. Looking for the other quarterback, which is Ben Brooks. We have not seen him play quarterback yet this evening.
Yeah.
Falls incomplete and will now bring up 4th down and 5. And, well, Joe, with 5:56 in this first quarter, it seems like neither team really wants the football on offense right now.
Well, it's the Fred Astaire offense, 1-2-3 kick. So,
if you're a fan of the Iowa Hawkeyes, it kind of looks like maybe a little bit of the Hawkeyes offense as well.
I would think that'd be a sore subject with you.
Well, luckily, I'm not a Hawkeyes fan. I may come from the Hawkeye State, but I am not a Hawkeyes fan. So
Iowa State?
No.
No?
NBC always came in growing up as a child, and that, of course, is where Notre Dame was always on.
Oh, I see.
You get mixed in there, the movie Rudy Rudiger and Rudy. You shoot your destined to be an Irish fan.
Seems like your type of movie.
Even though 80% of the movie is untrue.
That one's for you.
It'll bring up first down and 10, ball at the 28-yard line for the Vermillion Tanagers. Vermillion, again, has struggled to get the offense moving so far here in the ball game. They're just 1 of 6 in the passing game for 8 yards. In fact, total 8 yards of offense so far. Pass over to Connor Peterson is taken down at the 35-yard line. It's going to be a pass or a completion of 7 yards and bring up second down and 3.
Yep, Jordan Peterson with the coverage and the tackle that time for Madison. That's what I'm kind of talking about. Nickel and dime. But make sure you're getting, guys out on an out pattern for a decent amount there, and that was a decent amount.
And Peterson, both receptions now here in the football game. 2 of 7 in the passing game for 15 yards. As I just said, Peterson with both receptions for 15 yards as wide receivers are split to either side. Low in the backfield, stand at the 30-yard line is Hayden Christopherson as he claps his hands back together, back to pass once again, looks to this near side. Nolan Nygren just can't hold on to it, again in his hands, but took a big hit there by Carson Wolf and falls incomplete.
Well, the ball was there, but like I said, a good lick by Carson Wolf to dislodge it. Now it'll be 3rd and short.
3rd and 3 for the Tanager.
We have not seen Vermillion run the football besides once on the designed quarterback keeper that went for 5 yards. If you count, of course, the sack yards, Vermillion has yet to pick up any yards on the ground. We'll see if they design another quarterback keeper for Hayden Christopherson, just needing 3 yards on 3rd down and 3. Wide receivers, 2 of them split to either side. Christopherson is back to pass. He's looking the other side. He's going to pull it down, keeping his eyes downfield, and just tries to go sidearm it, and it's going to be intercepted at the 40-yard line. Nice interception there by Cale Johnson as Hayden Christopherson tried to fit it through a window.
Charlie tried to Patrick Mahomes it that time, the sidearm and stuff, but the defender was right there.
Yeah, trying to force that one in there, sometimes it works, but you have to be able to bend your body, get that arm angle, and be effective with the sidearm pass in there into the hands of a Bulldog.
So now the Bulldogs will take over in plus territory at the 40-yard line as we continue to see Hahn in at quarterback. Again, the Bulldogs do run a 2-quarterback system, but have yet to see Ben Brooks in the passing game or even the running game, but how about in the receiving game as he pulls this one in for 12 yards, and it'll be a first down for the Madison Bulldogs.
Well, when you're 6'7", and you got Landon Cerny making the stop, who's 5'11", you're going to have a little success there.
So again, picking up 12 yards on the completion to Ben Brooks, who comes in as the 2nd leading receiver for the Madison Bulldogs. 4:30 remaining in quarter number 1. Ben Brooks, will keep an eye on him. Splits off to the far side. He's the lone wide receiver at the numbers on that side. It'll be a 2 running back system in as Peterson is going to take the handoff this time. He's going to follow Hodges, but gets maybe a yard or so and bring up second down for the Bulldogs.
Good contain Connor Peterson, and
by number 59,
Raleigh French was there as well.
Don't take down our table, Joe. We're going to need that a little bit later on this evening,
we are.
So you know what players are. You can look at that, and if you take the table down,
thank you.
You have a hard time looking at that. Second down, 9, ball at the 27-yard line, 3:47. First quarter, we are scoreless against the Bulldogs and the Tanagers in this opening stanza. 2 wide receivers on either side. It's going to be a handoff to Hodges as he goes right up the middle. Gets past the 25, and it's going to be a quick whistle by the officials. It's a pickup of 3 yards, and they'll bring up about 3rd down and 6 for the Bulldogs.
24-yard line of Vermillion.
Well, probably not surprised that Madison's trying to wear down the Tanager defensive line right away. They got some big dudes up there. There's no doubt about it.
Hodges has carried the football 4 times for 11 yards in the ball game. 3:03 first quarter on 3rd down and 6. Peterson is standing right next to Hahn, the quarterback, with Hodges back behind him. But it's going to be a quick pass over to Brooks and giving a little bit of space, and it's going to be caught by Brooks there. As again, just off of the defensive coverage just slightly there is Laura, and it's completed for looks like, no, it's going to be 4th down and 1, so just a completion of 5 yards for the Madison Bulldogs.
Well, here we go. Tanagers held on a 4th down. Or no, they've made them punt. But this will be a big play early for the Tanager defense.
It is play 17 that just got held up. Look down at the wrist to see what play that is. Hahn in pistol formation on 4th down and 1 with Hodges back behind him. And coming off sides was number 23 there for the Vermillion Tanagers. And that will be against Caleb. And it'll be a free 5 yards for Madison and a 1st down.
Defense, 5 yards, 1st down.
So the free 1st down inside the red zone will move it to the 14-yard line. The Madison Bulldogs won't have to run a play on 4th and short. 2:05 remaining in this first quarter. Joe Van Gore will have score updates for you as we move into the second quarter, including a big game between number 1 and number 2 in Class A happening in Sioux Falls between Sioux Falls Christian.
That one's already out of hand. We'll get that score update soon, though.
It will be Ben Brooks, the new quarterback that is in. He is the running quarterback, and Ben Brooks will take it from 14 yards out, and it's a touchdown for the Madison Bulldogs.
A lot of laundry here.
So wipe off the points, turn the lights back on as they dimmed them here at Brian Kern Family Stadium for the touchdown, but it looks like 2 penalties, or at least 2 flags, a holding penalty that will go against the Madison Bulldogs. And it'll bring up 2nd down, or I should say a long 1st down.
Well, as we thought, the weather has settled down very nicely at kickoff, 79 under clear skies. Winds have now gone over, but now the Bulldogs backed up a little bit.
So the Bulldogs will be moved back all the way to the 24. Will they take up 1st down and 20?
I know what you mean, Charlie. That got out of hand in a hurry.
I have a feeling that it got out of hand, and Sioux Falls Christian is dominating, is what you're telling me.
3 guesses and the first 2 don't count.
Well, Canton was exposed last week to Vermillion's offense, and it looks like Sioux Falls Christian put together the puzzle to unlock their defense already early in that game. And another quick penalty. This time it will be deep in the backfield, but it looks like it's against the Madison Bulldogs. And Madison already 4 penalties against them this evening. An accumulation of 43 yards that have gone against them tonight. Unless Tom O'Boyle decides to decline. No, in fact, it's going to be a timeout instead before the delay of game for the Madison Bulldogs. So, Joe, what is that? You've been teasing it. What has gotten out of hand over in Sioux Falls?
6 minutes to go, first quarter. Sioux Falls Christian leads Canton 28-0. Dell Rapids needs Millbank, the Tanagers' opponent next week, 21-0. A minute to go, first quarter. Rapid City Christian leads Chamberlain 22-6. 3 minutes to go, first quarter. West Central leads Lennox 7-6. 3 minutes left to go, first quarter. Tri-Valley over Dakota Valley, start of second quarter, 7-0. Hot Springs and Lakota Tech both tied at 8.
All right, not that I don't believe you guys, because I am saying I do, of course. Oh, no, okay.
What's that?
What? You had to go look at the game?
Well, I was like, did someone, because it happens, right? SD Scores is all ran by people, so you can put in fake scores if you want to. So I was like, all right, the technology exists. Let me go check quick.
Of all schools, you think Sioux Falls Christian's the school to do that, huh?
No comment there, but I can confirm it is 28-0. They're in Sioux Falls, and they're going into the second quarter. So when you guys talk about a game that has gotten out of hand, it certainly has. 1:15 after the timeout for the Madison Bulldogs. It's 1st and 20. We are scoreless here at Brian Kern Family Stadium. Hahn is back in at quarterback, and he's back to pass as he looks to the near side. Plenty of time, and going deep, and Chapman, almost like a punt, is going to catch it in the end zone. Interception, and it's back-to-back turnovers. Both teams throwing interceptions to the other, and Vermillion will take over 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Well, great coverage that time. The INT to Ryan Chapman, who didn't play a couple weeks ago, played limited time against Canton, but great to see him back in there, and a very timely turnover for the Tanagers.
Yeah, Chapman has been plagued by a calf injury that took him out against Canton. We also saw him get injured in that Lennox game. He was unavailable week 2 against Lakota Tech. Again, is available. He's running routes. He's usually the running back, or what we saw week 1, but he has been out there running routes. In fact, right now, the man who just got the interception is at the numbers on the far side. So after back-to-back interceptions with 1:08 remaining in this first quarter, Connor Peterson in motion, and it's a low snap, and Hayden Christopherson is going to have to chase after it, falls down at the 5-yard line on top of it, a loss of 15 yards, and he'll bring up 2nd down and long.
Oh, yikes.
Ball's going to be back.
Well, you think Madison is coming? You're really going to come now.
So, Joe, with now that loss of 15 yards to bring up 2nd down and 25, if you can do the quick math up there on the scoreboard, which I know you're squinting and trying to read it all, I'll tell you right now, total offense for the Vermillion Tanagers is at an outstanding 0 at the moment.
Wow.
Hayden Christopherson standing on the shadow of his own goal line. It will be a handoff underneath to Chapman as Chapman now bounces it to the outside, gets a block, but just doesn't have the quick enough speed to turn it all the way upfield. Ushered out of bounds for a nice gain.
So, guys, designed run play number 2, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm keeping track here for you.
Joe has it written down on the little sheet. That's the only stats you're keeping for this evening is what you're saying.
There's only so much I can do.
Yeah, bring up 2nd down and 11, so it is a pickup of 14 yards for Chapman.
I'd say it's longer than that. A little bit longer than 2nd and 11.
Yeah, 2nd and 17. That's what I looked at the scoreboard. The one time I look at the scoreboard all night to get the official markage, and it lets me down. A carry of up to the 17-yard line, and it will bring up 3rd down and long for the Vermillion Tanagers. We'll get to 3rd down and long after the end of the quarter. Second quarter comes up. We're scoreless between Madison and Vermillion. That is on the way here on Live Ticket TV.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com.
Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a checkmark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
After quarter number 1, we are scoreless between the Madison Bulldogs and the Vermillion Tanagers. Joe, your thoughts on quarter number 1 as we saw both offenses really struggle to move the football?
Yeah, it wasn't between the 20s. It was
Welcome
between
back
the
to
50
Vermillion
and the
Booster
20
Club
for
Press
both
Box.
teams. Each team has a turnover. Well, each team turned the one over on successive possessions here. But tell you what, yep, it was 4th and 13 for the Tanagers, their own 17 to start the second.
So on 4th down, it will be a punting situation here for Vermillion, as it's a decent snap, and Hayden Christopherson the quick kick as they were coming after it. Vermillion fans give the oohs and ahs as Hayden Christopherson got hit on the punt, and they won a penalty flag. Not going to get anything, and Madison will take over 1st down and 10. The 3rd time they have taken over in their own territory at the 45. As we just mentioned, they have not been able to turn it into any offense. Joe, did you have any other quick scores that you were looking at there as we move into the second quarter?
Well, of interest to me, because I did them for 4 years previous, Yankton. Well, now Harrisburg leads Yankton 14-7. 9 minutes to go, second quarter in 11 AA.
We'll have more scores for you at halftime, including plenty in Class A. Play 19 as they hold it up on the far sideline. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Play 19's a quick pass. It's going to go to Brooks as he's up to the 35 and taken down at the 34. It's a pickup of 11 yards. All 3 completions tonight have gone to Ben Brooks for 30 yards. And again, first down and 10 for Madison.
In case you're interested, guys, Tri-Valley leads Dakota Valley 14-0, 11 minutes to go, first half.
Surprising scores so far in Class 11A. We'll again have more for you coming up at halftime. 11:25, second quarter here. We're still scoreless. Another pass over to Brooks as they're just trying to get it done with his feet right now. He picks up 3 yards on the completion, and he'll bring up second down and 7.
Yeah, it does take a couple, 3 Tanagers to bring him down, but the Tanagers doing a good job of keeping Brooks in front of him. That's what you have to do with a guy like that obviously has a height advantage, is probably going to get more catches than not, but the Tanagers are doing a good job of keeping him in front of them to make the stop.
And shout out to Ben Brooks as well. Such a talented basketball player. And often nowadays we see when you get to this level of football in Class A or above that guys will not go out for multiple sports. They'll just specialize in something. But Ben Brooks, he's out here playing football, and he's got the football again, and he's off to the outside, and Ben Brooks is going to get to the pylon and in for a touchdown. Ben Brooks from 32 yards out punches it in for the first points tonight for the Madison Bulldogs.
Well, not surprising, Charlie. He had some great seal blocks on that far side.
Yeah, absolutely. Some seal blocks that helped him, and then getting up the sideline was the big thing, too. Kind of tiptoeing over there, but made it all the way home for the first touchdown of the ball game.
And here comes the 8th grader Tyler Troxel, Heath, with the extra point.
Lights flashing on and off here to celebrate.
That's the byproduct of a new stadium nowadays, right?
Well, maybe ask some guys at USD if we can get the lights to flash there.
We do.
Not during Vermillion football games, we don't. Extra point is up and good. It's 7-0 with 10:33 remaining in the first half. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
To keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing, unlock your future and rock with us.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
The 8th grader has it teed up, and it's moving towards out of bounds, and Peterson does a great job of letting it go out of bounds. For the Vermillion Tanagers, they'll move it all the way up to the 35-yard line, where Vermillion will take over first down and 10. Joe, we have seen this offense, well, kind of opposite of what we saw a week ago, struggle to move the football and see if they can't get things going offensively, especially in the passing game that they rely so much on.
Yep, total of 12 yards total offense, 15 passing, -3 rushing. Madison now is up to over 70 yards total offense.
So another penalty on the Madison Bulldogs as their 4th penalty of the night for over 73 yards this evening. Looked like one might have been offsides for Madison, but it's be a quick pass over to Connor Peterson. And it's going to be completed to 41. Oh, excuse me, that was Sean Doan who completes it up to the 41. And it's a pickup of 6 yards.
Short of the 41-yard line. Second 4 for the Tanager.
So now 21 yards in the passing game this evening for Hayden Christofferson. It is his first completion since the interception a couple drives ago. Vermillion has been able to move the football kind of right into this area, but has not necessarily been able to pick up yards or first downs after this. Can they change that right now? Hayden Christofferson standing at the 35-yard line. Back to pass. He looks over to the near side, and there's kind of confusion on who it was intended to. Falls incomplete, and now brings up 3rd down and 4 for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if Landon didn't complete the pattern that time.
So Hayden Christofferson in the passing game so far tonight is just 3 of 11 for 21 yards.
But there have been about 3 drops, though.
A week ago, we saw him go 25 of 47 for 393 yards, along with 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown in that game. 2 wide receivers split to either side as Christofferson's back to pass once again, tries to force it into a tight window to Peterson. Carson Wolf there to break it up, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 4.
It's going to bring up a 4th down for Vermillion.
It looks like it'll be a punting situation upcoming for the Vermillion Tanagers as they get some bigger guys off and bring on a few guys to return the punt, or I should say bring in some support on the punt coverage. Ben Brooks is standing right at the 40 and starting to move his way back just to make sure everybody was going to punt it away. Vermillion is bringing off a guy late, and now there is a penalty flag as there's going to be 12 guys in the huddle for the Vermillion Tanagers as they had 1 too many on the field.
Well, Sioux Falls Christian now leads Canton 35-0 start of the second quarter.
That's crazy.
That is.
I don't know if anybody expected that. I don't think Sioux Falls Christian expected that.
Still 5 yards, still 4th down.
We'll see if Canton can at least get a little bit back into that game to avoid the running clock.
I think you got to give some of that to Sioux Falls Christian's offensive line. They are crazy, and to know them, a couple of them, it's pretty cool. And there's too many guys on the field again.
And now a timeout for the Vermillion Tanagers. 7-0 with 9:45 remaining in this second quarter. We're going to step aside. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
.945 in the second quarter. It's 7-0 on 4th down and 9. The Vermillion Tanagers are going to have to punt it away after 12 men on the field and more confusion with this punting game. They're finally able to get the punt off. Ben Brooks is going to return it. No, he calls for a fair catch at the 29-yard line where the Madison Bulldogs will take over 1st down and 10. Joe, we just saw Ben Brooks go for a 32-yard touchdown in the run game. Do you think we start to see Ben Brooks come in a little bit more at the quarterback position or continue to utilize him as a specialty player?
It looks like. Nope, he's going to be a receiver. But I think when they get into other territory, that's when they're going to use him a little bit more.
So Hahn remains the quarterback as they will go to Hodges, who's going to be wrapped up in the backfield, but breaks free and is up to the 36-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 yards for Hodges. They'll bring up 2nd down and 4. Hodges, 5 carries for 17 yards in the ball game so far tonight. Again, 7-0, 9:15. Second quarter, it has been a little bit slower moving of a game, if you will, compared to maybe some other games across the state of South Dakota, but that's just when you pass the football a lot and a lot of incompletions, the clock doesn't move much. Two running backs. Peterson's going to get the handoff this time at the numbers far side up to the 44-yard line. And it's going to bring in enough for a first down for the Madison Bulldogs.
And now the Bulldogs starting to rack up in the rushing game to keep the Tanager offense off the field, although the Tanager offense just needs to get that confidence back that they had last week against Kenton. But now they're facing a Madison team that's trying to get downhill on them.
9 carries for a total of 58 yards in the running game so far tonight for the Madison Bulldogs. 2 running backs set, and once again, as everybody is in basically tight, and the pulling guards, plenty of muscle out front, and here goes Hodges up to the 40, still on his feet, and ushered out of bounds at the 28-yard line. A big pickup that time for Hodges. But Joe, when I said there's 2 pulling guards out front and they hadn't put a lick on anybody as they were entering the line of scrimmage, that's not a good thing if you're the defense.
Yeah, in the running game you could probably call illegal man downfield, but boy, not in that case. We saw some good seal blocks, Charlie, on their touchdown drive on the far side. Now some good seal blocks here on the left side.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is, as a former offensive lineman, if you're that far downfield and haven't touched anybody, it can be bad.
Yeah.
Maybe you missed him, maybe your back is tackled, but he was right behind him, pushing him, telling him to go. And first down yardage again, Heath.
A pickup of now 16 yards, this time Peterson on the carry. And for the Vermillion Tanagers, it's been kind of that what has plagued them defensively all season long is the big plays just turn into one big play after another, and now it's going to be down to the 13-yard line where it's 1st and 10. And it's going to be a quick handoff to Peterson once again, and Peterson just using his speed inside the 10 and take it down at the 8-yard line. So
Caleb Lara with the stop, Heath, but now this is the first series that we've seen Madison just pound it, get downhill.
Over 100 yards rushing now for the Madison Bulldogs. Including leading the way is Caleb Hodges with 44 yards, Ben Brooks with 32 yards in the running game, and Peterson now with 27 yards. So 3 different guys that have been able to kind of run the football. Now a broken play, and nice job by Raleigh French to get in the backfield to make sure that play stays broken, and it's a loss of yards as Hahn will end up taking a sack on the play, a loss of 5 yards.
Well, let's see if Mr. Brooks is involved in this next play. Hasn't been yet on this series.
So bring up 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 13-yard line for the Madison Bulldogs as play 18 is going to come in for Madison. And Joe, you called it. Ben Brooks is in there at quarterback now. Again, he is the running quarterback, and it's going to be a keeper by him as he just looks upfield, bounces it to the outside once again, and stretches for the pylon in. But it's going to be a holding against the Madison Bulldogs. It's now the 2nd touchdown that has been taken off the board when Ben Brooks has been able to get in on the ground. And this one's going to be backing up the Bulldogs, and he'll bring up now 3rd down and long.
Wonder if Ryan Morse, senior offensive lineman, 6'2", 300, might be the guilty party.
Block in the back.
Oh.
Number 33 on the offense.
Even worse.
10 yards. Still 3rd down.
So block the back is what they call, not a hold that goes against Hodges.
It's farther downfield, though.
Yeah, must have been.
Because the chains didn't move a whole lot.
It'll be a loss, or I should say a penalty of 6 yards in the end, but 5 penalties for a cumulative of 79 yards this evening for the Madison Bulldogs. Penalties have really hurt them so far tonight. One of the reasons they only lead 7-0 with 6:32 remaining in this first half. Hahn fakes the quick pass, is looking for the end zone, and there is Ben Brooks on the completion for 19 yards. and it's a touchdown for the Madison Bulldogs.
That was too easy. Too easy. And Brooks that time got behind the defense, and guys just kind of froze on the pump fake.
So Ben Brooks, now his second touchdown of the evening, a 32-yard run, and this time gets it done with his arms, if you will, catching a 19-yard touchdown pass and on to attempt the extra point. And we're going to, before we have that, it will be a penalty against the Vermillion Tanagers, move it up a yard and a half, and we'll still attempt the extra point. Again, 13-0 with 6:27 remaining in this second quarter.
Half the distance, will retract.
They're simply going to just say decline.
Offsides on the defense, penalties decline. We'll retry.
No need to move.
Nope. Not on this. Madison was going to kick the extra point no matter what. They don't care about the yard and a half. They say just keep everyone where they're at and let's just kick this football. It's a high snap. It's a low kick, but it is good. 14-0 with 6:27 remaining in the second quarter. The Madison Bulldogs lead it over the Vermillion Tanagers. We're back in a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today. Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athletes.
.627 remaining in this first half. Peterson's going to catch at the 21-yard line and try to find his way right up the middle, runs over his own guy and just kind of stumbles and bumbles his way down to the 30-yard line where the Vermillion Tanagers will take over first down and 10. Joe, it's a couple different times that we've seen Vermillion take some friendly fire tonight in this ball game.
Well, no, there's no doubt about that. But now, with just a little bit over one half of the second quarter to go, got to get something sustained here because Madison will get the ball first to start the third quarter. Got to get some consistency, some confidence on offense here.
Ball at the 31-yard line officially, where Vermillion will take over first down 10. It's been a struggle in the passing game, to say the least, and it will continue with the second interception tonight for Hayden Christopherson. Good interception that time by Shane Venhoff.
He's all over. He is all over the field right now. That was a heck of a read.
And Madison Bulldogs, Joe, I hate to say it, but I brought it up during the pregame show to you. I said, right when we get close to halftime, things have just gone
haywire.
Imploded, if you will, every single time for Vermillion Tanagers. And with 6:13, implosion is happening again. Defense needs to come up big here for Vermillion right now.
Don't be too surprised if you see a bunch of running plays here.
So again, Hayden Christopherson's second interception of the night. It's going to be a handoff to Peterson as they've gone to Peterson a little bit more in this second quarter, trying to use his speed. Looks like he picks up 4 yards. They'll bring up second down and 6.
Number 23, Caleb Lara. Ball's down to the Vermillion 9.
So Peterson, by the way, 5 carries for 31 yards so far in the ball game tonight. Ball at the 24-yard line with Peterson to the left as the running back, Hodges on the right side. Otherwise, 2 tight end set. They will go to Hodges, and Hodges is just trying to run the train tracks, trying to find some space, and eventually Riley French in there with a pack of Tanagers to wrap it up and really allow Hodges nothing on the run there.
Well, taking a look at the Madison's offensive line, number 71, Ashton Dorhout, a 6'3", 265-pound sophomore. I saw him just literally push 2 Tanagers and within about 4 or 5 seconds of one another on that running play.
So 2 running backs once again for the Madison Bulldogs. Peterson is the left, and they're going to go on 2. And Vermillion was ready to go. They didn't care whether it was on 2 or on 1. And unfortunately, about 4 different guys jump off sides, and it looks like it'll be enough for a first down.
About everybody went there.
Vermillion, 4 penalties on them this evening, giving up 20 yards. But with it being 3rd down and 5, it is enough for a first down, as it will move it inside the red zone down to the 17-yard line with 5:23 remaining in this first half. This is usually where Ben Brooks takes over. We've seen him get 2 touchdowns already, this time in at the tight end position. They're going to fake the handoff on the play action by Hahn. Looking, Hahn's going to step up. Hahn over the middle, and it's going to be caught for a touchdown. But another penalty flag. The 3rd penalty flag that we have seen on a touchdown against the Madison Bulldogs. And my goodness, I can only imagine if you're Coach Bundy right now and for Madison to see 3 different touchdowns taken off the board because of penalty flags.
Ineligible. Number 52 on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
Finish that statement there.
52 is ineligible. How so?
Ineligible man downfield is what they are calling. And that one is tough for Madison in the offensive line. Charlie, as you know, you're in there to pass block, and you expect your quarterback to kind of get the ball off sooner than what he did. And after that point, you're just running around as an offensive lineman trying to put a hat on a helmet and make a block, and it results in him going too far downfield.
Yeah, sometimes when you can get ultra aggressive up there, it can be easy to go downfield. I was always told 1.5 yards is what you have, but every referee is different.
Play action here, going to the end zone. It's lobbed up, and it's going to be intercepted in the corner. Nice job on the interception there by Thomas, and Vermillion gets their 2nd takeaway of the football game. So we have now seen 2 times for Madison that they have scored touchdowns taken off the board because of penalty flag and then coming away with 0 points. Both times courtesy of an interception, and Vermillion will take over 1st down and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Well, 4:53 left to go first half. Each team with a couple timeouts left.
We talked about Vermillion defense making a stand, and they certainly do so. 3 of 13 in the passing game tonight is Hayden Christopherson for 21 yards. 2 wide receivers split to either side. Christopherson is back to pass, and now he's going to just try to take off upfield, and he's going to be bulldogged and wrestled down at about the 23-yard line. A pickup of 3 yards and bring up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, I like that, Heath. Bulldog, that's the term.
Well, that's a rodeo term, yeah.
Joe, you ever participate in the rodeo?
I've watched rodeo, but have not participated.
You never hopped on the back of a bull there, Joe?
I mean, I could sing Wild Bull Rider by Hoyt Axton if you'd like me to.
How about PA? You seem like the type of guy that would be great for a rodeo PA.
Yeah. I don't know. Me and rodeo clowns just don't mix.
Trip split to the far side. Hayden Christopherson standing at the 18-yard line as he claps his hands together. Low snap. It's going to be a quick pass, and there should be a pass interference. Should be a pass interference, and there is not, as the wide receiver, Connor Peterson, got hit as the ball is coming in, which is too early. In the end, no call. 3rd down and 7.
Clock stops with 4:06 left to go first half. Madison 14, Vermillion nothing. Got to keep those down markers moving.
So Vermillion 3 of 14 in the passing game for just 21 yards tonight. We all wanted a pass interference. Don't get the call. So 3 wide receivers off to the far side now. Again, Chapman at the numbers here on the near side. Joe trying to do math in his head at the moment. Christopherson claps his hands together. He's looking that far side and has defender draped all over him as Cerny falls incomplete. And it will bring up 4th down for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Well, this sets up the scenario that we've been talking about. toward the end of the first half here, and Brooks goes back to get this punt.
So Hayden Christofferson again will punt the football away as Ben Brooks moves back to the 47-yard line. And with 4:01, plenty of time for Madison to find another touchdown. By the way, Madison will get the football to start the second half as well. Might be a little early to mention that, but just keep it in the back of your mind. Christofferson gets the punt away. It's high arcing. Calls for a fair catch, as he's done every single time so far this evening. Hauled in at the 44-yard line. And the Madison Bulldogs will take over first down and 10.
Well, special teams has been effective, especially in the punting game so far. Yeah, when you can get some hang time, that doesn't allow Mr. Brooks to do his stuff.
It was a spiral of a ball as well, end over end. Wind also helping a little bit on the aid, as it is moving from south to north here at the Brian Kern Family Stadium. So with 3:54 remaining in this first half, Madison is going to try to strike before halftime and use up plenty of this clock, or maybe try to go deep right away, and this one is going to fall incomplete. Good no call that time by the officials, as Ben Brooks never came back for the football. It just played chicken fighting down the sidelines, falls incomplete.
Well, I guess the operative term, Charlie, is they're letting them play.
Yeah, they are letting them play, and at the same time, that's not the worst thing. If you're going to call it one way, call it both ways. So it's great there.
Second down and 10, ball at the 44-yard line, 3:50 before halftime. Back to pass quickly. They go over to Brooks once again. And the quick completion up to the 49-yard line. A pickup of 5 yards. Again to Brooks. Brooks has been the only wide receiver that has caught a pass so far tonight for the Madison Bulldogs. 57 yards in the passing game. Joe, what do you have?
I got 56.
They're off a yard.
Okay.
3:20 remaining in this first half. It's a high snap pulled down by Hahn. He's going to hand it off to Hodges, and Hodges has enough for a first down. It's a pickup of 7 yards and a first down. Hodges, 8 carries for 51 yards tonight, and it keeps the drive alive for Madison. And again, with plenty of time and 2 timeouts remaining as well, they can really put the screws to Vermillion to end this first half. Again, coming up at halftime, we'll have a look at scores from across the state of South Dakota. We'll also get your first half statistics to you as well, and plenty more. That is on the way coming up at halftime. Madison Bulldogs are trying to get set. Shotgun formation, and it's going to go on to, once again, an offside situation for the Vermillion Tanagers. A free 5 yards for the Madison Bulldogs, and it'll bring up first down and 5.
Yeah, I'd say they're going to work on going on 2, or at least hard counts at practice next week.
Watch the football. It was offsides on this near side. Now the officials are spending some time together. Should be an easy call to make.
Encroachment on the defense.
That's right.
5 yards, still first down.
Maybe they're telling him what to say when he opens up the mic.
He has gotten more confident on the mic this evening. He's now gotten the offense and defense down instead of that way. So first down and 5, getting ball at the 40-yard line. 2 wide receivers, make it 3 wide receivers split to the near side. With again 2:30 remaining in this first half. We're paying attention to the clock. Ben Brooks is alone at the numbers far side, but they're going to go underneath to Peterson. Peterson picks up 2 yards, and he'll bring up second down and 3.
Well, now coming up on 2 minutes to go first half, with Madison leading 14-0 here on Vermillion Tanagers Live. Well, maybe you got to pick up the pace a little bit.
It was also the first pass that was completed to someone else besides Ben Brooks tonight. Hahn back to pass once again. It's just a simple curl route, and it works nicely as they get it over to Garrett, and Garrett is able to pick up a first down, getting it all the way down to the 27-yard line, a pickup of 10 yards.
Number 1, Connor Peterson.
So now 70 yards in the passing game tonight, as Hahn is in at the quarterback position, getting the ball spot to 27. Hodges is the running back to the left side. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Then to go the quick route over to Peterson as he tries to break free, and it's going to be a flock of Tanagers in there on the tackle, maybe a yard or so. It's going to bring up second down and long for Madison.
Surprised Madison's not calling a timeout. I don't know why they're keeping him.
Ball's on Vermillion's 27-yard line.
So now 3 straight passes that have been completed to someone else besides Ben Brooks. They're going to hand it off this time to Hodges, who goes right up the middle, and Hodges is spun around and taken down at the 18-yard line. And he'll bring up third down and short for the Madison Bulldogs with 1:01, make it 1:02 remaining in this first half. And Joe, looks like they're going to call a timeout finally.
Yep. They'll have a 3rd and 7. No, they haven't reset yet. 3rd and 3 on the 19-yard line with 1:02 left to go in the half, and Madison leading 14-0.
Again, fans, coming up here at halftime, we'll get you some first half scores, as tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Pump and Pack. Fill up your tank and fill up your belly at Pump and Pack. From their cooled beverages to plenty of snacks, Pump and Pack is proud to be the fill-up spot and go-to destination for the Live Ticket TV crew.
Yep.
We got our snacks earlier before making our way here to Madison in a full car. What we have nicknamed the Red Ninja. We nicknamed that a long time ago. If you guys did not know, now you do. It's Joe Van Gore. Got the shotgun seat, even though he was the last to arrive to the party.
Wow. Sioux Falls Christian leads Canton at the half, 42-0. That will be a running clock in the second half.
Wow. I don't think anyone saw that coming in Class 11A, as again it was the matchup between 1 and 2, and right now 1 is dominating. Third down and 3. Hahn is in the quarterback position. It's going to be a design quarterback keeper, and Riley French read that one all the way. And it looks like it's going to be well short of the first down, and it's going to bring up 4th down and short for the Madison Bulldogs.
And the clock continues to run. Going for it on 4th down. Need a huge stop here.
And now it's going to be a timeout called. That will also be the last timeout for the Madison Bulldogs. We're going to step aside. We're back in 30 seconds here on Live Ticket TV. Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed. And you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
With 40 seconds remaining in this first half, the Madison Bulldogs on 4th down and 3 inside the red zone with the ball at the 19-yard line are going to go for it as they stack it in. Ben Brooks is going to drop back to pass and going to go right over the middle and find his wide receiver Peterson open on the 19-yard touchdown pass. And how about this for Ben Brooks? The hat trick tonight, Joe Van Gore. The rushing touchdown, the receiving touchdown, and now the passing touchdown. And the Madison Bulldogs lead it 20-0 over the Vermillion Tanagers.
Well, Jordan Peterson catches the touchdown pass on a 4th down with just 33.9 left to go in the half. And this will put the Bulldogs up with the extra point if it's good, 21-0.
So on to attempt the extra point with 34 seconds remaining here in the football game. Laces were in, but it doesn't matter as that one goes through the uprights, and Madison leads it 21-0 over the Vermillion Tanagers. Joe will talk about it here at halftime, but certainly got to get some corrections going when it comes to the passing game for Vermillion offensively into the second half.
Well, when you have the kind of success that Vermillion had against Canton, Coach Bundy and the Bulldogs took full notice, and they have not let Hayden Christofferson really breathe with the coverage that the Madison linebackers and secondary is getting.
So Madison will also get the football to start the second half. But Ben Brooks, he has been the utility player Now a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a passing touchdown. Again, fans, after quarter number 1, it was scoreless between these two teams. And that's also saying something, Joe. Not only is it 21-0, but we have seen 2 different touchdowns by Madison that have come off the board and never completed, if you will, and scoring because of interceptions, including one in this second quarter. It's teed up. Vermillion will have a few seconds left. They do also have 2 timeouts, so we'll see if Coach OB tries to force the issue as Peterson brings in at the 20-yard line. He's going to use the numbers on the near side and is ushered down at the 33-yard line. Vermillion will take over first down and 10. Have to imagine, Joe, that they're going to try something. Might as well. Got 2 timeouts. What do you have to lose at this point? 28.7 remain in the half. Hayden Christopherson gets the play in and runs it into his crew offensively. And we'll see if Coach O'Boyle concedes or if he's going to try to put something together in these final few seconds of the first half. 2 wide receivers split to either side. Extra blocker in for the Vermillion Tanagers. Christopherson claps his hands together. Back to pass. Gonna go over the middle, and it's gonna be intercepted. 3rd interception, as this one is Caleb Peterson on the return, and Caleb Peterson is taken down at the 24-yard line. And all of a sudden, Madison has one final opportunity to score before halftime. As for Hayden Christopherson throws his 3rd interception of the evening. And we'll see what Madison can put together in the final 18 seconds of this first half.
Well, give Madison defense credit. They are giving Hayden many different looks that time, and that's what's led to these 3 interceptions. And now this must be a 15-yarder.
Yeah.
On the return.
Block the back.
Oh, blocking the back, okay.
First down.
10-yard penalty.
So move it back nonetheless to the 42-yard line.
Well, you got 17.9 left in the half. No timeouts. Might as well take a couple shots, huh?
And when you have a wide receiver that stands at 6'7", there's one guy you need to look at right now, and they have isolated him at the numbers on the far side. That is Ben Brooks. Look at him right now. He'll be going against Thomas, the defensive back, get on that far side. Back to pass is Hahn. Pump fakes this way, but instead they'll go to the near side, and this one is going to be dropped. It was
almost caught,
up.
though.
Nice job by that time, Laura, who broke it up for the Vermillion Tanagers. And with the 11 seconds, Madison still has a couple more opportunities.
But on the rebound, Veenhoff had a decent chance at it.
So again, falls incomplete. Hahn, by the way, has had 70 yards in the passing game, including a touchdown to Ben Brooks. Ben Brooks has gotten all 3 touchdowns so far this evening. Shotgun formation once again. Ben Brooks is alone at the numbers on the near side, but Coach Bundy is going to call off the Dogs, and he'll be satisfied with his 21-0 lead going into halftime, where the Vermillion Tanagers struggled offensively, including 3 interceptions by Hayden Christopherson, and Vermillion will need to try to figure out something offensively going into the break. Again, at halftime, Madison leads 21-0 over Vermillion. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have your first half statistics. That is on the way here on Live Ticket TV.
Madison High School booster flag.
There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out Team Apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers. When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest loads.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
How do you know?
Don't worry about it.
Find Maytag products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer, Merce Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
Birds like tanagers are great at flying out of the way to miss your car. Deer and other drivers are not. If you're in any kind of accident, bring your vehicle to Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. We repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition and handle the entire process from start to finish, including an accurate estimate and dealing with the insurance adjuster. So good luck to the tanagers, and if you're in an accident, bring your vehicle to
Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Give it off to Cisse, gliding to the basket. Out to 3, Jay Hayes. Good. And Eric Glenn wants to stop the music.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
If you have to talk about a bright spot, it could be a lot worse. 21-0 at halftime. Madison leads over the Vermillion Tanagers. We have seen 2 touchdowns come off the board. Actually, take the back. 3 touchdowns that have come off the board tonight for the Madison Bulldogs because of penalties. 2 of them have resulted eventually in a turnover on downs and also in interception. They've only scored on 1 of those touchdowns. So, I mean, technically it could be 35-0 here at halftime. But again, 21-0. Madison is in control. Taking a look at our first half statistics, it's been a tough one so far for Vermillion in the passing game, as they are just 3 of 16 for 21 yards. With 3 interceptions in there as well. On the opposite side, 11 of 16 for 88 yards in the passing game so far tonight. Total offense, 208 compared to 21, as Madison is outgaining the Vermillion Tanagers by almost 200 yards. When it comes to the passing game, as we mentioned, 3 of 16 for Hayden Christopherson for 21 yards. Leading the way is Hahn, as he is 10 of 14 for 69 yards. Also, Ben Brooks does have 1 completion for 19 yards and the touchdown. In receiving, Connor Peterson leads for Vermillion with 2 receptions for 15 yards. Ben Brooks, 7 receptions for 56 yards. In the running game, it is Chapman with 2 carries for 12 yards. The leading rusher right now is Caleb Hodges, 10 for 59. Peterson, 5 carries for 34 yards. And Ben Brooks, 1 carry for 31 yards and a touchdown. Again, Madison has scored all 21 of their points in the second quarter, leading it 21-0. Joe, I mean, bright side, I don't think it can get much worse for the Vermillion Tanagers offensively. That being said, they need to get something going in the second half.
Well, that's why you make adjustments at halftime, because obviously Madison has Hayden Christopherson and the Vermillion passing game figured out. Interceptions, great defense by the Madison linebackers and the secondary here. Like we said, Tanagers need to get that confidence back on offense and get things going, slow down this Madison team, which, quite frankly, has a pretty good balance between the run and the pass.
Yeah, again, taking a look here at halftime, It is 21-0. We're going to step aside. We'll be back with our scores from across the state of South Dakota. That is on the way next here on Live Ticket TV.
Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment is your locally owned and operated ready mix company. Their specialty, 6x6 front discharge mixer trucks that allows for better placement of concrete and ease of use. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment offers the highest quality of concrete products and aggregate, and also a full-service dealer for low-gun equipment featuring telehandlers, excavators, and ASV track skid loaders for purchase or rent. Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment, East Highway 50, Vermillion.
Core Cares helps individuals stay at home by offering caregiving, nursing, and medical alert systems in over 55 communities in South Dakota. Specializing in tasks like bathing, meal prep, and medication setups, our well-trained staff delivers exceptional care. We invest in our team through customized training and comprehensive benefits. To learn more about job opportunities or services, visit our website at corecares.com. Core Cares, proudly serving our community.
Jensen Kennels is your safe place to take your dog while you're away. They have over 7,000 square feet of indoor run space and outdoor play yards. They pride themselves in providing enrichment both mentally and physically for all types of dogs. And speaking of size, Jensen Kennels can host any size of dog, from the smallest Boston Terrier to the largest Great Dane. To find out the full services Jensen Kennels offers, check out their website and Facebook pages. Next time you need your dog to stay in a safe, fun environment, make it Jensen's Kennels.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Since 1966, Louis Cleaning and Restoration has served the Vermillion and Southeast South Dakota area with high-quality work and even higher-quality customer service. At Vermillion's oldest cleaning and restoration company, they pride themselves on providing the best service with friendly, knowledgeable staff. They specialize in cleaning, offering extensive cleaning services with high-powered equipment at an affordable price. Check out their website for a full list of services they offer. And next time you need it clean, call Louis Cleaning and Restoration.
Do you have a pest problem? Back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
Back here at Brian Kern Family Stadium, it's 21-0. The Madison Bulldogs lead it over the Vermillion Tanagers along with Joe Van Gore, two-time South Dakota Sports Broadcaster of the Year. Charlie Preen will get there one day in his broadcasting career. I'm Heath Nimke.
He's working on it.
I'm trying to get out of the broadcasting life here.
Hey.
I'm trying to get on the more of the business side of things. They just keep me busy one thing after another with another two broadcasts coming up for me tomorrow. Joe, what are you doing tomorrow?
I am going to watch youth soccer in Hardington, Nebraska, and watch a great day of college football.
You know what you could do instead of watching college football? You could watch more soccer and come join me at Dakota Wesleyan if you want to.
Well, I did do PA for the Coyote women for a few years and stuff, but that was a long time ago. I've forgotten.
Joe, scores from around the state of South Dakota. Let's begin with maybe one of the most interesting scores when it comes to Class 11A. Sioux Falls Christian and Canton. It is a blowout in Sioux Falls.
42-0. Sioux Falls Christian over Canton. That's number 1. Sioux Falls Christian over number 2 Canton. 42-0. 2 minutes left to go, third quarter. Obviously a running clock. All right, let's see. Tri-Valley leads Dakota Valley 14-0 in North Sioux or at McCook Lake at the end of half. West Central and Lennox having a barn burner. Started the third quarter. West Central 13, Lennox with 12. Also, Del Rapids leads Millbank. Millbank, the Tanagers' opponents for the T-Day game next Friday night. And remember, 6 o'clock next Friday night at the Dakota Dome. Del Rapids leads Millbank 36-0. Under a minute to go in the first half. Unless Millbank scores before halftime, that'll be a running clock game. Belle Fourche lead Deadwood 6-0. Under a minute to go in the first half. Also, Hot Springs leads Lakota Tech 49-8, under a minute to go in the first half. Rapid City Christian leads Chamberlain 39-6 at halftime. All right, let's take you around the state. In 11AA, the defending 11AA champion Harrisburg and top-ranked in 11AA leads Yankton 21-7. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter there. In 11A of interest, Brookings leads Pierre 6-0 with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Watertown having a battle with Mitchell. Watertown 21, Mitchell 14, 11 minutes left to go in the third quarter there. And, well, Douglas had a short trip at T-Area. T-Area wins 58-3. Now to 11B. And the one we were looking at, winner leads Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central 16-6. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Elk Point Jefferson leads Baltic 39-0. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter there. And let's see, that would probably take care of 11B. 9AA from the area. Freeman Academy leads Alcester Hudson 26-0 at the half. Kimball White Lake leads Bonham 26-0. 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Burke leads Scotland Meadow 25-14. 10 minutes left to go in the third quarter. In 9A, Gayville Vollen beats Irene Wakanda 56-20. And paging on down, Howard leads Canastota 19-0. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Centerville, Charlie Preen just perked up. Centerville leads Del Rapids St. Mary 32-16 at the start of the third quarter. And in 9B, Avon over Cologne 72-6. Gayville Vollen, as we mentioned, beat Irene Wakanda 56-20. And paging on down, that should take care of the scores from the area, Heath, and of interest here on the scoreboard.
Tonight's scores are brought to you by the Vermillion Boosters along with Vermillion Ford. Boosters are partnering up with Vermillion Ford for the Drive for Your School event. For every test drive taken, Ford will donate $20 to the Boosters. Test drive check-in comes up on Wednesday, October 2nd, anytime from 7 to 6 o'clock in the evening. You can pick out a brand new vehicle to test drive. If people are busy, just remember that even a short drive around the block counts as a $20 donation to the Vermillion High School Athletic Booster Club. Tonight's broadcast is also brought to you by Blaine's Body Shop. Blaine's Body Shop delivers exceptional auto repair and paint services. Their body shop specializes in automotive collision, repair, paint, framework, and glass. Get along with Charlie Preen, Joe Van Gore. I'm Heath Nimke. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll get you set for the second half between the Madison Bulldogs and the Vermillion Tanagers. That is on the way on Live Ticket TV.
Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs. There's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Insurance rates are on the rise, and now more than ever, every penny counts. With me, John Brooks at DFS Insurance, we can look over your coverages and find the right insurance carrier to help you keep your costs down. At DFS Insurance, I'm an independent agent, which allows me to offer a variety of different carriers to fit your needs. When you're ready for your free, no obligation quote, give me a call, and we'll get you on the path to the best and most affordable insurance you need with Dakota Financial Services.
Welcome to Dakota PC Warehouse, where our staff aren't just friendly, we're certified nerds with a side of tech genius. Prepare to be awed as we unleash a barrage of geeky charm and unbeatable deals on PCs and HD TVs. And our tech gurus, armed with determination and a questionable assortment of snacks, can fix just about anything. We love technology and making it work for you. Dakota PC Warehouse, because being a nerd is our superpower.
For healthier crops and stronger yields, count on Nutrien Ag Solutions. By partnering with the leader in plant nutrition, you'll have access to innovative products and unmatched service that deliver impact and efficiency to every acre. Healthier crops, happier growers. Lead the field this season and beyond. Find your local crop consultant at nutrienagsolutions.com.
What's your big picture?
To keep the farm in the family.
To pay off the loan.
To start my own operation.
To drive Grandpa's combine. Right, Grandpa?
If owning a successful operation is in your big picture, First Bank & Trust has ag experts to help you plan for the future.
To diversify.
To teach her how to drive a combine.
Find out how First Bank & Trust makes managing your farm easier at bankeasy.com. Life can get pretty busy out there. Daily commutes, carpooling, and then there's that weekend getaway. Cenex is here to keep your vehicle fueled up for those long drives, your pantry stocked for those snack cravings, and the propane grill ready whenever you are. Things can move fast, but with your local Cenex, you can rest assured that everything on your list will get a check mark, all in a day's work, powered locally at Cenex.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
21-0 here at halftime at the Brian Kern Family Stadium. Joe Van Gore, Charlie Preen, I'm Heath Nimke. Joe, it's simple. Just get the offense moving and you're going to have more success. But sometimes it's not just, it's much easier said than done. What does it take for Vermillion to get this offense turned around?
Well, the offense is going to have to wait. Madison gets the ball first to start the third quarter, so defense needs to rise up there. And I just wonder if now we've had, 2 design runs so far in tonight's game. I'd let Hayden Christofferson, take about a half-second look and then take off. See what happens. I mean, you don't want your quarterback to make all your carries and get, banged up and hurt and everything like that. But I'd like to see a little bit better balance between the run and pass for the Tanagers.
It's kind of interesting that you do say injury because Hayden Christofferson dealt with the ACL tear already with the knee injury in his career. He has been moving just fine ever since that injury and that he has recovered. Raleigh French will have it teed up at the 40-yard line for the first time this evening. That's a little unfortunate to say as again Vermillion did not score in the first half. We'll see if they can't get an opening defensive stand right away to start the second half, but Ben Brooks has gone for a hat trick offensively for the Madison Bulldogs, including a receiving, rushing, and passing touchdown. French has it teed up, and this one is going to be a low kick that we have seen him do all season long. That is how he is coached, and that's what they tell him to do. Peterson on the return is cut down at the 45, and that is where Madison will take over first down and 10. We have seen the quarterback Hahn as the main quarterback featured so far this evening. Ben Brooks has got his opportunity, but mainly inside the 25, or at least inside the 30, that we've really seen him take over that quarterback position.
Guys, something's happened in the Sioux Falls Christian Canton game.
Canton scored, finally.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah.
Was that what you were going to say?
Yep. 42-7, early fourth quarter in a running clock.
Probably a JV team came on out, and the varsity team probably scored against the JV team. Back here at Brian Kern Family Stadium, it's going to be the pistol formation, a handoff to Hodges right up the middle. Raleigh French was in there on the stop. As a few more Tanagers wrapped up Hodges. It's a pickup of 4 yards, and they'll bring up second down and 6.
By number 59, Raleigh French.
Well, should we start a pool on how many times Madison's going to pass on this offensive series? I'll say 1.
All right, you're on. I'll take the over on it.
Okay.
3 wide receivers to the near side. As Hodges is in there at the running back position. Now going to bring Peterson in to help. And they're going to hand off to Peterson as he'll use the numbers on the far side. And there's French on the hip check tackle that we saw him do last week. He should have been flagged for it, was never called. And trying to take that out of the football game all across all levels, if you will, when it comes to football. It's going to be a pickup of 2 yards, by the way, for Peterson, who has 7 carries for 40 yards this evening. Ball is just across the 50-yard line, spot at the 49. Again, 3rd down and 4 upcoming for the Madison Bulldogs with 10:43 in the 3rd. Hahn is still looking down at his wrist to get the play. It's going to be a fake handoff on the play action. They're going to go for this screen, and it's going to be caught by Peterson. But nice job defensively there for the Vermillion Tanagers. In there on the tackle was Cameron, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 3.
That's what you needed right there. A 3 and out, but it doesn't look like Madison is interested in punting. You can easily play the game of field position, but that shows what confidence Coach Bundy has in his offense.
So on 4th down and 3, the Vermillion crowd getting into it a little bit here. See if they don't try to go on 2, get Vermillion to jump off sides. And now Hahn is looking over to the sideline, looking back. It's 17. Play 17 is what they're going to run. Last
5
time
on the play.
And now it's going to be a false start, it looks like, on Madison.
Flag on the play.
And it will move it back 5 yards and now bring up a punting situation. So for the Madison Bulldogs, 7 penalties for 94 yards against them this evening.
That's way too much. West Central and Lennox tied at 27 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Joe, by the way, you were right. Only 1 passing play on that drive. I think you might have expected the drive to go a little bit longer as well.
A little bit, yeah.
And now a punt that is not good, as it will bounce out of bounds, or they say, yes, it did go out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Coach OB is like, I was standing right here. It went out here. They're going to mark it back at the 29, and he's just going to walk away in frustration.
Yep. I think probably, the 37 or something like that.
Vermillion will take over.
Well, 6 of one, half dozen the other. But now starts the game for the Tanager offense if you want to get back in this game.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. I apologize. Looked the wrong yard marker there. 34. I said the 29. So 1st down and 10 is where the Vermillion Tanagers will take over at the 34. Hayden Christofferson back to pass, and they're trying to go deep along the far sideline. Will fall incomplete, and it will bring up 2nd down and 10. Again, 3 of 16 at halftime. If you will, make it now 3 of 17 in the passing game tonight. Hayden Christofferson for the Vermillion Tanagers after he threw the football 47 times last week against the Canton Seahawks. Clock stops at 9:24. So the wind's starting to pick up a little bit here at Brian Kern Family Stadium. Christofferson claps his hands back together. It's going to be a design quarterback keeper as he tries to find his way along the far hashes. Gets cut down at the 43. It's the 3rd designed run of the football game and picks up 4 yards.
Well, like we said, now you're making things a little bit more manageable here. But like I said, nickel and dime.
Number 37.
Vermillion has just 4 total yards rushing the ball so far tonight, and now an early timeout used by Coach Tom O'Boyle. Well, step aside. We're back in just a moment here on Live Ticket TV.
Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/careers. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
On 3rd down and 6, Hayden Christofferson claps his hands together. It's going to be a quick pass out to Nolan Nygren. Got nowhere close. And it will fall incomplete and bring up 4th down for the Vermillion Tanagers with 8:53 remaining here in the ball game.
A little game mismanagement there. Music was playing while the Tanagers were on offense, and that's a no-no, folks.
Or were you hearing the music bed from us, Joe?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Joe, technology, it's getting fancier and fancier all the time.
It's your board.
Or stuff I've never heard of before.
It's the new hip-hop, Joe. Got to get with the times here. Back to punt now are the Vermillion Tanagers. As Christofferson stands at the 27-yard line. Good punt. As it's going to send Brooks back after it. He is going to pick it up this time. The first time he is going to return it. He's up to the 35 and dodges a couple tacklers before he's finally taken down at the 42-yard line. Again, first return for Ben Brooks of the evening, and it works out nicely for the Madison Bulldogs. So 21-0. Madison leads it over the Vermillion Tanagers. It has been all Madison here in tonight's football game. Call in play 5 for Madison. Joe, expect that play to be a run play for Madison.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this quarter is going by just a little bit quicker than the first two.
Hahn, it's going to be back to pass instead. And they go right underneath. Great coverage by the defense. It's a pickup of a yard or so.
Complete to number 21, Jordan Peterson.
The pickup of, a yard. Make it 2nd down and 9.
Trying to find space between the line and the linebackers that time.
Ball's on the Bulldog 43-yard line.
So 11 of 17 is Hahn in the football game tonight for 72 yards passing. In total, 90 yards in the passing game tonight for the Madison Bulldogs. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Running backs on either side. It's going to be a handoff to Peterson. He's trying to find his way up the numbers on the far side. Tackled at the 45, pickup of 2, and it brings up 3rd down and 7.
Here comes that wind.
Yeah.
So you can hear the wind right now currently in our microphones.
Yeah, we had a nice breeze before the game, then it stopped, but now it's picked up again.
It's been a beautiful evening, though, tonight at Brian Kern Family Stadium. As our crew finds ourselves outside tonight. Somehow we drew the short end of the stick. We're the only broadcast team to get stuck outside, which at the same time I'm not going to complain about because it's a very crowded booth just above us.
Yeah, 2 for 2 this week on interesting locations, to say the least.
No comment on the other one. Back to pass is Hahn, and he's going to find Ben Brooks wide open on the slant pattern, and Brooks up to the 43-yard line. A pickup of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Madison Bulldogs.
Well, it'll be early night. Sioux Falls Christian 49, Canton 7, 3 minutes to go in the game in running time.
So if Sioux Falls Christian wasn't the unanimous number 1 yet, they will be after this week according to the media. Unless you get that one crazy voter out there, which you can never put that by a guy like me. Pass over to the far sideline will fall incomplete and bring up 2nd down and 10.
Lennox 28, West Central 20. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Dakota Valley has scored 14-7 Tri-Valley at the start of the 4th quarter.
And this is great.
And now it's starting to get, looks like a little bit of, not for sure if it's raining or if something's coming out through the windows here.
I think it was just something through the windows.
Okay, well, we'd appreciate not to get some water on us.
Right on our cameras, too. You got to wonder.
As this one, it's going to be a pass over the middle, a tangle of legs, and now a late pass interference comes in. As it looked like that time, it was Cerny along with Garrett, who just got their feet tangled up.
Yeah, that was the reaction of the receiver that had the official throw the flag.
Pass interference, number 21, 15 yards. First down.
So a 15-yard penalty will give it a first down for the Madison Bulldogs as they move it just across the 30-yard line, and will take it all the way to the 28. First down and 10. It's the 6th penalty against the Vermillion Tanagers tonight. 40 yards against them when it comes to penalty yardage. This time Ben Brooks is going to take the handoff. Last time we saw him get the handoff, he went for 32 yards and a touchdown. This time he'll pick up about a yard or two, and second down and 8 upcoming.
Tackle made by number 59, Riley French.
Ball at the 26-yard line. Madison Bulldogs using more and more of this clock. 6:10 remaining in this third quarter, where Madison leads 21-0. Two wide receivers to the near side, one alone at the numbers on the far side. Hahn in pistol formation, gonna hand it off underneath the Hodges as he just bulldogs his way up to the 21-yard line. A pickup of 4 yards or so, and they'll bring up third down and short for Madison.
Now just under halfway through the third quarter, 21-0 Madison. Wouldn't doubt that Madison's going to use a couple more minutes if they want to get in the end zone.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Dakota Seed and Service, your local Pioneer seed dealer in the Irene area with seed, chemical, and crop insurance to fit your operation needs. It's third down and 4 as Brooks is in motion. He'll go into the backfield right next to Hahn. It looked like a few guys were moving a little early for the Madison Bulldogs, and it will move them back 5 yards and make it a lot more tougher of a third down, bringing up 3rd and 9. Now, 8 penalties for 99 yards against Madison tonight, and they are still winning this football game 21-0. In fact, Madison has accumulated more yards against them on penalties than Vermillion has offensively. Ball moved back now to the 27, where it's third down and 9. Deuce is wild to either side with now 1 in motion. And it's going to be the screen that goes to Hodges. He cuts it back, and Hodges is going to be taken down at the 23-yard line. It's a pickup of 4 yards. Now bring up 4th down upcoming for Madison.
Ball's on Vermillion's 22-yard line. 4 for the Bulldogs.
I would say, well, Hahn is still in there, but Mr. Brooks is too. Wonder if it's an end around to the short side of the field.
Of course they will go for it. Might as well on 4th down and 4. They need to get to the 18-yard line. Back to pass. It's going to be the quick curl route, and it works perfectly on the completion as they're able to get to Miles Schneider. The first time that we have called his name tonight in the completion game. And is enough, it looks like, for a first down? Or are they going to ask to measure this one? It's right there at the sticks. And they do say a first down. The head official was saying first down.
Coach O'Boyle is not happy.
Yeah, Coach O'Boyle wants this to be a measure. He cannot believe he's asking for it to be measured. The officials want nothing to do with it. They say it's easily a first down.
Ball's on Vermillion's 18-yard line.
So ball at the 18-yard line inside the red zone. First down and 10 for the Madison Bulldogs. Hahn's going to hand it off to Brooks. Brooks trying to find some space, and Riley French comes out of nowhere to take him down the backfield.
Well, just a play late. I mean, like I said, short side of the field stuff.
Number 59, Riley French on the tackle.
But the clock continues to run now, under 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Madison 21, Vermillion nothing on Vermillion Tanagers Live.
Madison doing a great job of using up the clock here in this third quarter. Two wide receivers to either side with, again, Hodges, the running back, on the left side. On back to pass, and he's going to go over the middle, and this one is caught down to the 5-yard line as they're able to get it inside to number 6, Quinn Fleming, and it's going to be first down and goal. But there is a penalty flag at the 21-yard line, which indicates that's going to be against the Madison Bulldogs.
I think Adam Willis, number 58, is going to be guilty of a hold. As Madison isn't coming up to the 5-yard line or even close to it.
So we're waiting for the official word, but again, as Joe just indicated, Madison is not moving, and assuming that it is against them.
What are we having a conference about?
Well, Joe, you indicated a hold, and this is a hold. It sure is taking a while.
Dead ball.
Oh.
Personal foul. 58 red. After the play, it's 15. It'll be first and 10.
So again, it is a first down on the completion, and then a personal foul that will move it back another 15 yards. And it's penalty, kind of confusing, against the Madison Bulldogs. We heard the officials say against the red.
This should be first and goal. This is incorrect. Right? Guys, back me up here. From my knowledge, it should be first and goal.
You might be right. And we were correct. It was on Adam Willis, but it was after the play.
So we'll move it back to the 18-yard line after a completion there of 13 yards. And now a pass to Ben Brooks from 18 yards out is completed, and it's another touchdown for Ben Brooks, his 4th of the night. And the Madison Bulldogs now lead it 27-0 over the Vermillion Tanagers. Ben Brooks has been impressive tonight. 2 receiving touchdowns, a passing touchdown, and a rushing touchdown. Once they get inside the red zone, they look to Ben Brooks, and he has come up big every single time. On the kick, the extra point, the Bulldogs, it's a clean snap. Laces are in once again, but it doesn't matter as this one's through the uprights, and Madison leads it 28-0 over the Vermillion Tanagers. We'll step aside. We're back with more of the third quarter. That's on the way here on Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
$28-0. The Madison Bulldogs lead it over the Vermillion Tanagers. This one kickoff is getting close to going out of bounds. Trying to be picking up is Peterson, and will finally get on top of it at the 7-yard line. But by the time he's able to try to get something going, he gets 3 yards or so, and it'll be first down at the, it looks like, 11-yard line for the Vermillion Tanagers. So if they haven't struggled offensively, they got a lot of work in front of them.
Well, they've only had the ball once this quarter. So, but if you want to be technical, Peterson did, after touching the ball, step out of bounds, then come back in. Well, I think the thing is called first touching or something like that.
I think at this point the officials are going to just let it go.
I think so too.
The way things have gone for the Vermillion Tanagers. We do see Chapman in the backfield on a rare occasion, and he is going to take the handoff. Joe, how many?
That is now 4 design runs.
The one stat you're supposed to keep tonight, and you almost forgot there.
I was distracted.
It is a pickup of a yard or so for Chapman. who's carried the ball 3 times for 13 yards. I think they'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Vermillion Tanagers. But Chapman once again in the backfield. We'll see if Coach OB is going to abandon the passing game or what his decision is from here. And now we struggle to even get the play off. It looks like it's going to be, though, against the Bulldogs, as it was just indicated by the official who threw the penalty flag.
Encroachment on the defense. Number
So a free 5 yards.
Still 2nd down.
Another penalty against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Braden Gust moved a little ahead.
10 penalties called against the Madison Bulldogs tonight for 119 yards. Wow.
No, that's not good for a coach. They don't like that stuff.
Claps his hands together. Hayden Christopherson's going to be a handoff once again to Chapman, who cuts it upfield nicely. And Chapman is up to the 32-yard line. And a nice pickup for the Vermillion Tanagers of 13 yards. And Joe, it makes you think, where has this running game been all night tonight for Vermillion?
Well, it depends on the health of Ryan Chapman, and he looked awful healthy that time.
So all the way up to the 32.
And that is 5 design runs, just in case you're interested.
Chapman in the backfield once again. We'll see if they make it 3 plays in a row. Handing off to Chapman. They do, and he pushes over Raleigh French just to get upfield. And he gets up to the 38-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 4.
Lennox 34, West Central 20 into the 3rd quarter.
So all of a sudden, Lennox starts to pull away. Again, that game happening in West Central. We saw number 1 in Class 11A, Sioux Falls, defeat number 2, Canton, in earlier action in the football game. That happening in Sioux Falls. 3 straight running plays for Coach Tom O'Boyle and the Vermillion Tanagers has gotten the ball up to the 38-yard line. A low snap, and this time Chapman had nowhere to go. Loss of a helmet as well. Chapman tackled in the backfield at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, timing was just completely thrown out. Ashton Dorhout got the negative yardage play, and he's got to come out because he lost his helmet.
Yep, loss of a helmet here. The clock will roll again. Vermillion has to get 1 more play off before the end of the quarter. Depending on when they snap this, it could potentially be, well, actually, it will be. Well, maybe not unless they set a pass, but it could potentially be the last play of the quarter. So 3rd down and 8 for the Vermillion Tanagers. Christopherson is going to fake the handoff. He'll keep it himself on the read option up to the 40. It's not going to be enough. You need to get to the 42. It is a pickup of 6 yards, and it will be the end of the 3rd quarter, where the Madison Bulldogs lead it over the Vermillion Tanagers 28-0 as we head to the 4th. The 4th quarter comes up in 60 seconds here on Live Ticket TV.
Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Aberdeen is the place to stay for business or the weekend family getaway. You'll feel right at home with ample parking, spacious guest rooms, and complimentary breakfast. And with a convenient location, you'll have easy access to local attractions and events in the area. While staying at the Best Western Ramkota, guests can enjoy an indoor water play land, an on-site Minerva's restaurant, exercise facility, wedding services, and a business center. For friendly service and a great stay, make your reservation today.
Farming today requires constant adjustment, innovation, and the right seed. And you'll find that with Pioneer Seed at Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion. With the most advanced technologies and local experts, Dakota Seed and Service share in your hard work on the farm, adapting to an ever-changing industry. When you need the right seed, protection, and service, make it Dakota Seed and Services in Irene and Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box, proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student athlete.
So on 4th down and 2, the Vermillion Tanagers are going to go for it. Might as well when you're trailing 28-0. Nothing left to lose in the game tonight. Pistol formation for Hayden Christopherson as he claps his hands together. The blitz is coming for the Madison Bulldogs. They're going to hand it off to Chapman, who was met in the backfield nowhere near enough for a first down. It's going to be a turnover on downs as Madison will take over 1st and 10.
All right, Heath, 11 AA or 11 A scores. Sorry, I was in that class the last 4 years. Well, no doubt, Sioux Falls Christian is the top team in 11A, 49-7 over Canton. Lennox over West Central, 34-20. End of the third quarter. 8 minutes left to go in the game. Dakota Valley's tightened it up. Tri-Valley 14, Dakota Valley 13, and Del Rapids defeated Millbank 42-7 up in Millbank. Millbank comes to the Dome for T-Day next Friday night at 6 o'clock.
Madison Bulldogs keeping their starting offense out there as well. Actually, they got some guys that are starting to rotate in with their second team. Hahn, though, is still the quarterback, and they're going to hand it off to Hodges, who is up to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 4 yards, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Hodges with 12 carries for 65 yards tonight. Vermillion has kind of eliminated the explosive play of 50 yards or more tonight against the Madison Bulldogs. In fact, the biggest touchdown we have seen Madison get tonight is the running play of Ben Brooks for 32 yards. Otherwise, coming into this game, they have given up 5 touchdowns of 50 yards or more through their first 3 games. And we just see Hahn looking over to the play clock and using up as much time as they possibly can, and they're going to hand off to one of the JV players who's recently out there. That's Jade Wilkins, who picks up a nice gain on 2nd down and 4. And we'll take it from the 35 all the way to the 24, a pickup of 11 yards.
Well, great balance by the Bulldogs. I'm seeing 150 yards rushing, 143 passing. I'm sorry, 159 rushing and 143 passing.
And that's what we talked about in the pregame show as well. It was just such a balanced offense from the Madison Bulldogs coming into this game, and they have certainly proved that. Going to be handoff to Wilkins once again as he tries to turn it upfield. He's going to be taken down at the 21-yard line, a pickup of 3 yards, and he'll bring up 2nd down and 17 as, again, just trying to work up the clock, or I should say work out the clock, are the Madison Bulldogs. So it is 150 with 146 yards rushing. So,
wow.
I mean, it's about as balanced as you can possibly get it for the Madison Bulldogs. Just outside the red zone ball, the 21-yard line on 2nd down and 7, 10, 11 remaining in the ball game. It's all Madison. If they score here on this drive, it would just be a running clock, would make things kind of just move even quicker as they're going to hand it off to Hodges, and Hodges is all the way down to the 11-yard line, a pickup of 10 yards, and it will bring up 1st and 10 for the Madison Bulldogs. Caleb Hodges, 13 carries for 75 yards tonight. I have to believe if Madison were to score on this drive, they'd probably call off the starters at least on offense. We'll see what they decide to do defensively. But for now, it's 1st down and 10. Ball at the 12-yard line is where they officially mark it. Running backs, 2 of them in, Hodges and Wilkins. They're going to hand off to Wilkins as he's trying to cut it to the outside. He's able to get up to about the 10-yard line. A pickup of 2 yards. Bring up 2nd down and 8 with 9:18 remaining here in the ball game. Fans, don't forget, as Joe Van Gore mentioned, next week it is T Week, which is homecoming week. We'll be back inside the Dakota Dome. Pre-game coverage begins at 5 o'clock with the kickoff set for 6 o'clock. Do note the hour difference. And kickoff, due to the travel for the Millbank Bulldogs, gives them an extra hour to get home a little bit sooner. As we celebrate homecoming, we'll also be without the services of Joe Van Gore as he goes on vacation.
And Spencer.
And Spencer Bewley is gone. Be a handoff to Hodges inside the 5, but a penalty flag is going to be throwing. And it looks like it's going to be against the Madison Bulldogs. We'll wait to see what the penalty is called against. But again, for Madison, 10 penalties against them so far this evening. And it will be a holding penalty that will move him back.
Repeat, second down.
So it'll be second down and long.
Yep, Israel Overson, who had a sack back in the first quarter, if you remember correctly, and gets the hold here.
Need to get to the 2-yard line to get a first down, the Madison Bulldogs, without getting a touchdown. It is going to get moved back all the way to the 18-yard line. Excuse me, the 17-yard line is where it will be marked. So second down and 15 for Madison, leading 28-0 over the Vermillion Tanagers. Hodges, Wilkins, the running back. Trying to just work this clock right now is Madison. Handoff to Hodges as he goes up the middle, pushing his way through. A late jump onto the pile. Got to be careful. Sometimes they will call that for a penalty.
Yep.
But might as well get the assist tackle in there. So if you're part of the pile, sometimes you get your name written down. Hey, Joe, I did that a few times. Get yourself in there.
In soccer.
Tried to in soccer.
I know you guys don't believe that I played center at 135, but...
Oh, you must have been a quick one.
Center field.
Spike the ball and get the heck out of the way.
7:32. Third down and 5. Trying to get it all the way down to about 3 seconds left on the play clock. It's a high snap. Hand off to Hodges. Hodges tries to bully his way forward. It's going to be well short. Oh, excuse me, I said third down and 5. It was third down and 11.
It was made by number 7, Jacob Larson.
Field goal.
Going to come out for a field goal attempt.
Please remember to take your line.
Yes, Joe won 2 state titles in track. Our track coach was also our football coach. We pride ourselves on speed.
So what, the dashes or?
Yep.
100, 200, 400, what?
400.
Really?
Back in the day when Heath used to be a little bit...
quicker.
Yeah, quicker. I'm still pretty skinny. I'm not going to say that. Offsides here, the Vermillion Tanagers, which was bad because depending on where this is at, it could give a different look here for Madison.
They're declining it. Keep them there.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not.
Well, because what it's technically on the 7-yard line, so it should be 4th down and 5. So this should give Madison a first down.
Encroachment on the defense. After this is the goal, still 4th down.
I don't think it should.
It was more than 5 yards. I mean,
it should be a first down, not half the distance.
Well, the spot at the 11, a 21-yard attempt.
Yep, here we go. See if the 8th critter can't knock it through. And it's going to be a low one, and it's no good on the field goal. So with 6:25 remaining here in the football game, the Madison Bulldogs will take over first down and 10. Tanager fans, don't forget we'll have more athletics coming up here on Live Ticket TV throughout the week. It's great to have you along here on Live Ticket TV, your home for everything when it comes to Vermillion athletics. Again, without the services of Joe Van Gore coming up next week as he goes on vacation. Spencer Bewley, who has been in and out of the broadcast so far this season. Also, we're missing our other partner in crime, Cole Larsh. So you guys have all gone on vacation or taken a day off from Friday Night Lights except for myself. How does this work out?
Hey, and me.
You went home the other week and didn't do a game.
Well, I didn't have a game in Centerville.
When do I get vacation?
Unfortunately, you do not.
Just got to ask, I guess.
Technically, if you ask Charlie, I had vacation on Tuesday. 28-0, 6:25, fourth quarter. And now we're going to get another penalty flag as this is a delay of game. Vermillion does not get the snap off in time. As Coach Tom O'Boyle is saying, look, you can see the clock. Now, again, we do have a play clock inside the dome, but we do not use it during that time. Just because they don't staff enough people.
No, they don't.
At the dome.
It's kind of tough to run a scoreboard and a play clock at the same time.
So it'll be first down and 15 with the ball at the 15-yard line after the missed field goal. Hayden Christopherson does have Chapman in there as the running back, and they're going to hand it off. Chapman bounces it out to the numbers and still on his feet and taken out of bounds right around the 23-yard line. Nice pickup of 8 yards, and it will bring up second down for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Yeah, Ben Brooks with the push out of Chapman this time, but I think, well, like I said, with the passing game last week, I think Tanagers might have the balance they've been looking for with Ryan Chapman running the ball.
We'll see if they don't get back to more with their running game coming up next week against the Millbank Bulldogs. The Vermillion Tanagers are going to drop to 1-3 on their season. And Madison will eventually move to 3-1 as they'll go back to Chapman, who will go up the middle. And it will bring up third down and short for Vermillion.
Number 22, Trey McGilvery.
Third down and 4 is officially what it is. Vermillion needs to get it to the 30-yard line. Actually, it's third down and about 3 at that 27. 5:47 remaining here in the football game. By the way, Tanager fans, if you haven't heard the news either, Vermillion JV team has canceled the rest of their games this season due to just the shortage in guys and injuries they've had to deal with so far this season. So no more JV games, just worrying about varsity games. Chapman is going to break through the offensive line and get all the way up to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 8 yards and bring up a first down and 10. But Chapman again, another game, and he is injured.
Oh my!
As he is holding his mouth. You hate to see this. Chapman just has not been able to get through a game so far this season without picking up an injury, but he's quickly to his feet, so something must have just happened with his helmet that he got either knocked in the nose or knocked in the mouth. But due to him coming off the field without a helmet on, he'll have to take a play off.
Yeah, Amy Richardson trying to catch up.
Amy gets a good front row seat as well to watch her son, Dane, on the offensive and defensive line. Of course, Amy has been with the Vermillion Tanagers as athletic trainer for over 20 years. Amazing to see her work through all the years for Vermillion High School. First down and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. Hayden Christopherson is going to fake the handoff. It's back to pass, and now he's just scrambling around for his life. He looks downfield, and this one, interception. Fourth interception of the football game, and now there is going to be some extracurricular activity. A 15-yard penalty against Shane Veenhoff as he was right in the face of Connor Peterson and pushing him down after the interception. So mark off 15 yards. It'll move it all the way back to the 23-yard line where Madison will take over. First down and 10.
Well, obviously Madison has a dominating win, but Coach Bundy just can't like these penalties. I would think he's going to address that after the game.
And certainly one like that, the second?
That's just not necessary.
Second penalty that we have seen called against the Madison Bulldogs for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Number 4 on red. 15 yards, first down.
So they say he was official to 35, so we'll move it all the way back to the 20-yard line. And it looks like the way Madison is coming out here, looks like they are still keeping
the first team offense.
Yeah.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Well, no,
no, I think we got some different guys.
They've got a few different guys. It's a few different players in there. I believe Wilkins.
Final in Class 11 AA, Brookings defeats Pierre 13-0.
Well, we did mention last week that Brookings was the last team to beat Pierre during the regular season.
44 on the offense, 5 yards, still first down.
What's going on in Class 11 AA right now?
Upsets, craziness. We got a new team dominating the top.
Mitchell's keeping it close against. Why can't I remember?
No, sorry.
No, it's not?
No, it's not. 47-14.
Okay. Right.
4 minutes to go in the game.
Charlie, that's
real close. It was
It
close.
was close, yes.
Wilkins is the new quarterback in, and he'll take the direct snap as he gets to about the 16-yard line or so. Bring up second down and long for the Madison Bulldogs.
Well, as you mentioned, Charlie, little crazy, Aberdeen Central beat Spearfish 14-6. And that's first loss for Spearfish.
Spearfish received a first place vote in the media polls, along with Pierre. Otherwise, everybody else voted for Watertown on the AA side of things.
Yep.
I don't know who voted for Pierre. What an idiot. They lost 2 straight.
Second and 14.
Bet I can take a guess.
Oh, boy.
Bet I could take a guess, too.
You know, it could be like the Heisman, because if you're a voter for the Heisman, they identify how you vote.
I stand behind my vote. I have no regrets. Now, this week I might change a little bit, as a run by Wilkins once again brings it up to the 21-yard line to bring up 3rd down and 9 with 3:48 remaining here in the ball game.
Marion Freeman Academy beat Alcester Hudson 42-0. And Alcester Hudson was receiving votes.
A lot of upsets happening, or just good football?
Well, I think some cross 9-man games tonight.
So now on 3rd down and 9, again, Wilkins is the new quarterback in for the Madison Bulldogs. It has just been designed quarterback keepers, and he'll do it once again. Of course, Vermillion doesn't bring out a second defense. Just when you have 34 guys on your team, you don't have a second defense.
Well, I stopped keeping track of design run plays a while ago.
As they've resorted to running a little bit more, and now on 4th down and 8, the Bulldogs have to get out the regular punt team, and this always gets a little confusing on to get the guys lined up correctly, which is, you feel like you should be ready.
There's 10 guys on the field. There's now 11 and 12.
Uh-oh, we got 12.
Peterson back to return the punt.
That'd have been fun.
We didn't have a long snapper out there. That's not a good deal. And now, Coach Bundy is going to call timeout. See, I'll never understand these type of plays. You love the second team offensively and defensively getting out there, but when it comes to special teams, just keep everything exactly the same. You don't need to bring out a second team, special teams.
That's what we did in high school, and we would just send the first team punt team out there and say, hey, go out there for a play, get it done. Don't have 10 guys, don't have 9 guys, don't have 8. There's one time we had 9, an 11-man game. This Cole's senior year, but I have to ask him about that. And Cole was the guy that needed to be out, or one of the guys that needed to be out there. But, yeah, that's the one thing about special teams plays towards the end of a game like this is you have to have the right amount of guys out there that know what they're doing.
I will say I did, not that I wasn't out there, I may have taken a play off after we were up, and some JV guy went after me. I'll say he got the better of me, lit me up, and that's what you get for not hustling out there either. So I learned my lesson. If you're going to go out there for one play, make sure you give it your all. Otherwise you're end up on your bottom, Joe. Vermillion's come after it. It's a bad snap, but getting off just in time. Peterson just lets it bounce out of bounds right around the 49-yard line. And with 2:28 remaining here in the ball game, Vermillion will bring out a little bit of some second guys, it looks like, a chance to play here.
Learn about next year's team a little bit.
Manny Christopherson still in there at the quarterback position. Like I said, kind of a mix of a few different guys in and out there right now. As again, Vermillion's football team just not a lot of guys out there. Just only 34 that went out for football this season. Hayden Christopherson, a rare time, but he is now going to go underneath center as Duke is the running back in there at the 46, and he's a hard runner, but hesitated as he hit the hole.
Now going back to your previous point, Heath, Centerville High School has 32 guys out for football.
Yikes.
Nearly the whole high school.
I will say there is more soccer players out for Vermillion than there are football players this season, which say something about Vermillion soccer team. Very impressive what they've been able to put together on the boys' side so far this season.
Still number 1 in Class A boys?
Still number 1.
Yep.
When it comes to seed points, which is what matters the most. Now, we did see, of course, T move up to AA, and then Sioux Falls Christian petition to move up to AA. I believe Sioux Falls Christian's number 1 in seed points in AA soccer right now. On second down, back to pass is Hayden Christopherson, and it's going to be Landon Cerny that was being taken down from behind. Penalty flag is out. Good call there. A 15-yard penalty, and it'll be a first down for the Vermillion Tanagers.
Oh, Wyatt Pickard, a junior defensive back. What did I do? Well, you grabbed him too early.
Started pulling him away from the football, so good call there. Just gotta have to wait here on the officials to mark off the 15 yards. That's all we're waiting on here at the moment. 1:36 remaining here in the ball game. Tanagers trying to get one last score.
Personal foul.
Their first score.
On the defense.
What?
15 yards. First down.
Oh.
Well, let's say if you want to call a horse collar pass interference, whatever you want to call it, it's still the same 15-yard penalty.
Yep. And
I'll move it up to the 32-yard line where Tanagers will take over first down and 10.
Well, I know you've given up adding up the penalty yards for Madison. Well, we got to keep harping on it. Coach Bundy, you got to clean that up.
Joe, I never gave up on counting penalty yards.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I did.
Well, we'll see the final stats from somebody else.
Al here at Madison will give us the final stats, and we'll get you to those here at the end of the ball game.
Wide open.
Pass downfield, and this one is caught. Nice job by Laura as he's going to duck out of bounds inside the 10, out the 6-yard line with 1:26 left here in the ball game. Vermillion has a chance to strike their first touchdown of the night.
Well, they're obviously their biggest play of the night, and it was in the passing game, but just couldn't get any kind of traction in the passing game.
I know some people will say it's the second team out there, second defense for Madison.
Well, no, Brooks is still out there.
I was saying it's still good to see Vermillion move the football like this. I would take it. If I was Tom O'Boyle, I would not change anything. We're punching this one in the final 86 seconds of the football game.
Oh, Tanager's got to hurry. Only 5 on the play clock.
Yeah.
They're going to get, oh, man. Nope, there's the flag. Or a timeout.
I think
he got it off.
Yep. Tom did say he won the timeout. Didn't do any rushing, just put his hand up in the air and called for the timeout.
But, you got to get up. You got to get, with a long pass like that, you got to run up, you got to huddle and get the play off.
And again, Hayden Christopherson does come in to get the plays every single time from Tom O'Boyle. So he's running to the sideline, gets the play in, and runs back out there. But again, fans will have the final game statistics coming up for you, and also look at scores from the state of South Dakota before we hit the drive back to Madison, South Dakota. But we'll be back with you coming up inside the Dakota Dome next Friday night. As again, for T-Week, homecoming week, pregame begins at 5 o'clock with the kickoff set for 6 o'clock against the Millbank Bulldogs.
Dakota Valley rallies to beat Tri-Valley 21-14.
It's a good Tri-Valley team again, and they moved up to Class A, and I have heard that they will be up in Class A for now some time once again after they took a 2-year trip down to Class B and did some damage down there. But again, back up in Class A this year. Hayden Christopherson, roll out to the near side, looks, Peterson broken up. Nice job defensively there by Caleb Peterson to break up the pass, and he'll bring up second down and goal for the Vermillion Tanagers. Ball at the 6-yard line. Again, turned out to be a beautiful evening here at Brian Kern Family Stadium. When we got here, sweating a little bit, setting things up. It was a hot, sunny day with the sun cooking right on us, but right as kickoff came around, the sun went back behind, and again, turns out to be a beautiful night for Friday Night Lights. Christopherson, shotgun formation, standing at the 11-yard line. Scrambles over to the near side, and now he's going to take off himself. He's going to be tripped up at about the 5-yard line. It'll bring up third down and goal for Madison.
Boy, Tyan Braskamp on the ground just reached out and grabbed an ankle, and that's all he needed.
Vermillion does still have a little bit of time as we hit 60 seconds remaining in the football game, but have to pay attention to the clock just a little bit. Also, one timeout remaining for the Vermillion Tanagers. So third down and goal with the ball at the 5-yard line. 2 wide receivers split on either side. Hayden Christopherson standing at the 10. Claps his hands together. Clean snap. Looks one way, now scrambles back to the near side and has nowhere to go, and he is going to be sacked, and it's going to be a loss of 3 yards. It'll bring up 4th down and goal, and Tom O'Boyle does want to call a timeout here to get one final play to have a chance for his team to score. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Dakota Financial Services and John Brooks. DFS Insurance and John Brooks is proud to provide a wide range of products and services for their customers' needs. As an independent agent, he focuses on providing home, auto, health, life, and business insurance with products that are created for each specific individual and business in mind. Tonight's broadcast is also brought to you by Black Hills State University. Become a Yellow Jacket. Black Hills State University offers students the opportunity to learn from the best in a positive and challenging academic environment. So with 4th down and goal, ball at the 8-yard line here on the campus of Dakota State University. I travel my way to Dakota Wesleyan University tomorrow, getting all of our universities. But before we go there, Joe, we'll make our trip back to the other university down south, the University of South Dakota, as their football team is back home, by the way. Yote fans, if you did not hear, the NCAA did not give a forfeit. It was just called a cancellation.
Oh,
so
for crying out loud.
The Yotes do not get a win against Portland State.
And that would be important.
So on 4th down and goal, ball at the 8-yard line, 2 wide receivers split to either side. Back to passes, Hayden Christopherson, and he's going to find his intended target, Cerny, and Cerny is able to reach across and get in. And the Vermillion Tanagers get on the scoreboard in the final 25 seconds of the ball game. And a good effort there by Landon Cerny, as it looked like he was going to be held short, but was able to stretch across and get the touchdown for Vermillion.
And now, Raleigh French with the extra point. Got to give love to the holder. Got to give love to the long snapper.
So see if Raleigh French can't put it through the uprights, make it 28-7. Clean snap. And this one a good boot by French. This one is up and good. 28-7. As Vermillion, when it comes to their offense, finally able to punch one in. When it comes total-wise, 99 total yards that we have seen from Vermillion offensively.
Yep. 181 rushing for Madison, 143 passing.
But, Joe, you have to love the effort here by the Vermillion Tanagers not to give up and go for it here in the final 2 minutes.
Well, like I said, they forced turnovers. And, but Madison just, with their size and their balance really wore down the Tanagers in this game.
Again, fans, we'll get you the final game numbers coming up here on our post-game show before we hit the road back to Vermillion, South Dakota to drop off these two knuckleheads. And I'll finish my journey back to Yankton, South Dakota.
Okay.
Poor guy.
Can we get some ice cream on the way home, Joe?
If you're stopping, yeah.
Okay.
And if you're buying.
I don't know if I'll buy, but how about a company card that works? Does that sound?
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you ask nicely, I could probably make that happen. Raleigh French has it teed up at the 40-yard line.
Maybe I'll give you a break. How about a Nutty Buddy?
Could do that too.
Okay.
Again,
I'm sorry. Little Debbie Nutty Buddy. Cha-ching.
Raleigh French has it teed up. And we'll put a low kick into this one. This takes a hop at the 40, and Madison will just fall on top of it. I can't imagine they would actually run a major play, probably just a designed quarterback keeper for Wilkins, who just fell down at the 41-yard line, and that will end the ball game. Again, the Tanagers will fall to 1-3 on the season. The Madison Bulldogs will improve to 3-1.
They bring out the second teamers for victory formation.
If we get the play here off in time as they're huddled together, not quite for sure what they're going to be talking about. Just say simple snap. Doesn't do much more than that. Wilkins stands at the 37-yard line. That's exactly what he'll do. He'll take the simple lead, and that will be the ball game. Again, Madison improves to 3-1 on the season. The Vermillion Tanagers drop to 1-3 with your final score. Madison getting the victory 28-7 over the Vermillion Tanagers. Like I said, fans, the postgame show comes up next. It's brought to you by Core Cares. At Core Cares, they provide in-home care and nursing services across eastern South Dakota for seniors and anyone over 18 years or older. Postgame show comes up next with a look at the final game stats and also scores from around the state of South Dakota. That is on the way here on Live Ticket TV.
There's no better organization that gives back to the student athletes than the Booster Club. The Vermillion Booster Club is committed to helping all student athletes grow. Join the Tanager faithful today by becoming a member at GoTanagers.com. While you're there, check out team apparel for your favorite sports team. Like them on Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest information and sports games. Join the Vermillion Boosters today and go Tanagers.
When it comes to advertising, reaching the right market while giving back to the school is just plain right. If you're looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your home team or reach the region. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Heath Nimke today, and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
Welcome back to the Vermillion Booster Club Press Box. Proud supporters of all Tanager athletics and the student
28-7 is your final here at Brian Kern Family Stadium as the Madison Bulldogs improve to 3-1 overall. 1-3 the Vermillion Tanagers drop to for tonight. As we look at the final game statistics here for tonight, the Vermillion Tanagers will begin with the passing game, go just 5 of 22 in the passing game for 56 yards. For the Madison Bulldogs, 18 of 24 for 143 yards. When it comes to total offense, 324 yards tonight for the Madison Bulldogs compared to just 99 for the Vermillion Tanagers. In total yards rushing, 36 carries for 181 yards for the Madison Bulldogs, 19 carries for 43 yards tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers. In the rushing game, it was Chapman that led the way with 10 carries for 47 yards. For Madison leading the way, it was Caleb Hodges with 16 carries for 90 yards. Again tonight, it was the Ben Brooks show as he catches 2 receiving touchdowns, also rushed for a touchdown, and had a passing touchdown, carrying the Madison Bulldogs to that 28-7 victory. It was Hayden Christopherson pass to Landon Cerny with 26 seconds remaining in the ball game on the 8-yard touchdown pass. That was the only scoring by the Vermillion Tanagers, as again Vermillion drops to 1-3 overall. Joe, before we get to your final thoughts in this game, let's get quickly to some scores from across the state of South Dakota.
All right, let's do 11A in its entirety. Well, Sioux Falls Christian jumped all over Canton, and it turned out to be a running clock in the second half. Sioux Falls Christian will be a unanimous number 1 in 11A with a 49-7 win over Canton. Lennox defeats West Central 40-28. Dakota Valley over Tri-Valley 21-14. Good comeback by the Panthers late in that game. Also, Del Rapids defeated Millbank. Millbank, the Tanagers' opponent for the T-Day game, next Friday night, 6 o'clock in the Dakota Dome. Of course, T-Week starts on Monday. Del Rapids 42 and Millbank 7. How about other 11A scores? Lead Deadwood over Belle Fourche 15-6. Hot Springs over Lakota Tech 68-16. Rapid City Christian over Chamberlain 46-6. All right, let's go to 11 AA. Number 1 in 11 AAA, Harrisburg defeated Yankton 49-14. Brookings hands Pierre, the 7-time defending champion in 11 AA, their second straight loss, 13-0. Meanwhile, Aberdeen Central hands Spearfish their first loss of the season at 14-6. Watertown, no problem with Mitchell, 47-7. 14. Let's go now to 11B from the area. Bridgewater, Emery Ethan over Wagner, 20-6. It was Clark Willow Lake over Parker, 36-0. Elk Point Jefferson over Baltic, 46-14. Winner defeated Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, 30-18. 9AA from the area. Freeman Marion Freeman Academy over Alcester Hudson, 42-0. Kimball White Lake over Bonham, 26-0. Burke over Scotland Meadow, 38-22. In 9A from the area, Gayville Vollen over Irene Wakanda, 56-20. It was Freeman Marion Freeman Academy over Alcester Hudson, as we mentioned, 42-0. Howard over Canastota, 32-0. Ooh, sorry, Charlie. Del Rapids St. Mary leads Centerville 38-32. 8 minutes to go in that game up over in Del Rapids. Do they play at the same field the Quarriers play at?
Yes, they are.
All right. In 9B from the area, Avon over Cologne 72-6. Gayville Vollen over Irene Wakanda 56-20. And let's see, that just might do it. Yep, those are the scores from the area and of interest in all 7 classes, Heath.
Joe, your final thoughts on this game tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers, and since you won't be with us next week, where they need to look forward as we head into T Week for Vermillion.
Well, the Tanager offense just couldn't get on track, with the tremendous success that they had in the passing game last week. Just couldn't get any traction. But they might have found something, with Ryan Chapman in the running game as well. You do want to strive for the balance between the run and the pass, but Tanagers just couldn't get any traction on offense. But they also did, find themselves defensively. They caused some turnovers. They made Madison, run plays over again. Madison just had, I'd venture to say, if you have the final stats there, Heath, they've got to have 150 yards and penalties here tonight.
Yeah, did not have the official number when it came to penalties on the official stats, but it was well over 150 for them in that category. So,
well, there's no doubt. But now, you go to work. It is T Week next week. All the trappings of homecoming. Remember, folks, what Coach Culver always said, what his coach Walt Fiegel told him. Homecoming is for civilians, but no, I think back to work on Monday. And, I think Coach O'Boyle's got to be, obviously pleased with the effort. Madison's got great size, especially on the offensive and defensive line. They just wore down the Tanagers tonight.
Charlie, any final thoughts here before we wrap it up here at Brian Kern Family Stadium?
Yeah, to echo Joe, you have something to come away with this game in a positive manner if you're the Tanagers, saying, hey, we went out and competed. We scored on a team and only lost by 3 scores to a really good team in this class. So you turn around and have homecoming next week. That's the big thing for the Tanagers now. You got to go 1-0 every week, or try to go 1-0 every week. Can they turn their focus and try to get a win next week and try to get to that 500 mark like Coach O'Boyle mentioned?
1-3, the Vermillion Tanagers drop to as Madison moves to 3-1. Fans, we are back with you next Friday night. Again, the pregame show beginning at 5 o'clock with the kickoff set for 6 o'clock, again, due to the travel for the Millbank Bulldogs. So we hope you can join us again next Friday right here on Live Ticket TV. Your final from the Brian Kern Family Stadium, the Madison Bulldogs get the victory over the Vermillion Tanagers by a final score of 28-7. For Charlie Preen, for Joe Van Gore, I'm Heath Nimke. Until Friday, have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.